on writing quality research papers as well as the latest research topics of computer science and emerging domains like IoT, big data, and advanced AI. His area of interest includes data mining, nature, inspired optimization algorithms, and applied artificial intelligence. Now, I would like to invite our today's resource person, Dr. John Manjoy Naik Garu, to our faculty development program. Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir. Hello.
Hello. Am I, madam? Joshua, madam?
Sir, can you start?
Am I audible?
Now you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you. So, good afternoon to all of you. Let's start the session. I hope the control is at my end to share my screen. Am I correct?
Yes. Can present. Can share your screen now.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. We are able to see the.
Okay, fine. So, if in middle, if there is any network issue, because from my end there is no issue at all, but if any technical glitch, please let me know quickly so that we can revamp the session again. No problem. Okay. So, good afternoon, all of you. Today's our topic of discussion will be writing high quality research articles, some tips and tricks. So before I start my talk, let me thank Professor Joyshima Madam, who has actively initiated this 15 days FDP program, and I can see in the brochure itself they have mentioned it is a long span of 2 weeks where some latest research topics are going to be discussed every day. It is a good initiative from Madam's side, and I am really thankful to her for inviting me to take one session. So, coming to this talk or the session, you will have complete discussion about the current trends of publication or some quality research articles. This topic is pretty, you can say, neither interesting nor I can say what I can say like something very wide or something which is very immersing. It's not immersing. We all are in a publishing mode for variety of reasons in our normal academic life, but still we used to feel somewhere we are lagging, where exactly we are unable to hit the target. The first thing. The second part is we used to do a good work, means good research, but the outcome of that research in terms of publication, how it should come, it is possibly not coming in that way. So these are the two major aspects where many of the researchers, academicians, the research scholars, they used to fail to meet all these standards. Now, when Madam discussed with me, we had a choice of 2 to 3 subjects where Madam has interestingly chosen this, and I too feel great to talk about high quality research articles, because as per the current trend, though means if you will go to 5 years back, the journals were more, means there were a number of Scopus index journals more, but you will find these days very less number of journals. but high quality papers they want. Okay, so little reverse in 2015 to 20 and this era 2020 to 25, next 5 years. So let us discuss a few important topics on high quality research articles, how to publish, where exactly we need to publish, and especially where we are lagging. What is the reason behind rejection of the article? How we used to accept. Everything I will discuss. I hope all are the faculties participants who are participating in this program. Those who have started writing paper newly or those who are publishing, all those who are experienced researcher also, we will have this session which is important for everyone in every sense. Okay, so let's start the session. So this is a small introduction about me, about myself, which already they have mentioned about the introduction, which I don't think again I need to cover. But this is come to the content page. If we'll come to the content page, we will have no crisp yet very detailed information about these topics like quality research paper, how to publish, and few points I will discuss why to publish, because most of the faculties no, these days I am finding this question more relevantly, like why we should publish, that to be quality SCI or Scopus. Where to publish, manuscript styles, different journals may be, no, they may expect different kind of styles. Preparation of journal articles, preparation of book chapters, the conference articles, the publication matrix, and at the end we know are we on a correct track or not. We will discuss few research forum where exactly we need to publish the paper in a good sense and how we are able to do it. Okay. So this session I am going to deliver is for these three roles. Okay, please be mind about that. I am going to talk with you as an role of these three. The first one is an editor. I am currently being associated with more than 20 plus journals as an associate editor and other editorial board members. Coming to the second of my role, which is a reviewer, where again I am associated with more than 80 journals, and till date I have reviewed more than 8,000 articles in my career. So the third role is an author. I have published more than 220 publications. Now the fact is pretty clear. All of my slides, all of my information, what I am going to give you as an input to everyone will help you in all aspects or to gain some good insights about quality research publications. So what I am going to share with you among all these three of a research article, that may be in terms of editor, in terms of reviewer, or in terms of an author. Okay, so let's start the session. So my first slide is what we can do, where we are. Before I'll go to very technical part, let us please discuss few issues about the publications or the research publications. I hope I'm clear, everyone. Can anyone please respond? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So let's start what we can do, where we are. So these are few experience-based questions what I have put in my slide, and every of you please go through the slide. Definitely you will find somewhere some of your colleague or friends or some of among you only might tell all these statements to each other, right? The first one, I had heard about research papers when I came to academics only. I don't know what are the papers and all. Second, I am thinking to do some papers. Third, I am observing others, what they are doing. So this is also one category. Next is my plan is when I'll do PhD, then only I'll start my research or publication. Until that time, I don't want actually. The fourth one is pretty peculiar. I cannot be a Newton, right? Many people used to think my standard I know. So Newton is Newton. only research means Newton kind of people can be done. I hope you everyone know Newton, right? So, but can I make a small difference through good research? That also people used to think. Is research means only to publish? It is also a good question. Am I fearing to do research or to publish? I am poor in coding and writing programs. This is something like raising hands directly. Do you know what? I am not at all good in program during my BTech or early days. So don't tell me about the research or writing some good articles. The next one, I am poor in coding. The next, I am expert in changing the sentences and can write n number of papers by seeing others work. This is also one category where most of the people I have found in my talk only, because on this topic more than 30 talks I have delivered across India, where the feedbacks I used to get from some of the good participants who used to talk very truly. They used to tell, sir, we can change the statements. I can change any number of statements. So I can also publish a paper, right? That is true or not, that we will see in our consequent slides. So what I get if I do productive or qualitative research, this is also a question. Trust me, I am very busy in family and academic burden, because NAC, NBA, this is a common process in India, coming to NRF and all. So we are very busy. We cannot devote that much time towards quality research publications. And the last is very common among everywhere, in the bus, on the street, on the corridor of the college. Only mad persons talk about research. Means if you are publishing one paper, it is okay. If you are writing one paper, that is also okay. Or 2-3 papers, it's up to okay. More than 5 or 10 paper if you are writing, then others start talking. Definitely only family left people, or else some mad person used to talk about some quality research, all these kind of stuffs, right? So this is a very common information what I am giving you among all of us, right? So and few of the input I have kept from some of the feedbacks of my participants who has participated in some of my other talks. Okay. Now how far that is true, we will see. Now, why should I do quality research and publish? And publish means there are two aspects. If you will do quality research, definitely you will think about publication in a quality place. Second is, if you are not doing quality research, then it's okay. Somewhere you can publish. That somewhere doesn't designate any such what you can say, very specific kind of journal or conference or book or something like that. Okay. So the first question people used to ask, why should we save for money for future, right? We used to ask this question to ourselves, no? Means when you are talking, why should I do quality research? You should ask yourself the following questions, and all these questions are true or not, you please ask yourself for the time being. If you are not in the mood to do quality research, being a good academician, then do you have the answer why you should save money for your future? There is no reason, but still you do it, right? Second, if cancer comes, let's die on the very next day, just next day. Few people used to like that. Cancer over, my life is over, I need to die tomorrow. In that thinking only they used to die. Third, I should be happy with my bachelor or master degree. That means BTech or MTech or MSc or MTech over. Why I should go for further? Why should I think? Why should I take that much pressure? Third, everyone cannot be Ambani. Ambani means we used to think like I cannot be Ambani. Why I am just limited myself in my level. So Ambani is having lot of money means I cannot have lot of money, right? So it's better. Let's have normal thing. Means whatever it is going in my life, please fix everything in my life as it is. Next, the family pressure and problem is just too much. You can see how many years I have kept in two. Okay. Because the people, how they used to express, do you know, if you'll ask them to publish one or publish good papers, then the answer is very, very peculiar and petty. Like, I have lots of family pressure, lot of problem I am running, you cannot tell, you cannot imagine. I don't know how many years they are with family problem. Maybe 2 year, 3 year, 5 year or lifetime. Okay. Next is again very pity, where some of my friends And my PhD scholars used to tell me sometime, like my son or daughter is playing with my laptop when I'm opening. So don't tell me about research. And the last one, which is very true about all of us, especially in computer science, you think yourself, when you can purchase some more than some no, 10 lakh is the minimum cost these days for purchasing any car. So when you are having 10 lakhs of amount car, why you are holding a laptop which is of just 40k or 50k? Why can't you purchase a good laptop having a good configuration where you will get little no enthusiasm, little interest or desire towards doing some good research. Good research means more qualitative research, not some normal data analysis kind of research. Okay, you can imagine these all points are very genuine and very normal points what I have collected from real life. Okay, if all these answers are true, then you please answer yourself, why should you do quality research and publish? Then the answer you hope you can match with all these answers and your answer, right? Now, I will slowly enter into my topic, which is quality publication. So, if let us please start with the thing where no, we will discuss about if we do not have quality publication, then what may happen. The first one, as you know, these days DST and other funding agencies, they are pretty very clear about your research publications. If you do not have proper research publication, you cannot go for applying a good project. It's a common thing because the publication will justify your project. If you are thinking you are a professor or you are an associate professor or assistant professor, and being seniority or being experience in academics, you will write a project and you will apply and you will get, that is, you know, it is a nightmare, I can say. The first criteria for evaluating any project, because I am also working as a reviewer of DST. So while we used to review the project, the first of the task what we used to do is we need to see whether the corresponding publication is there for that author or not, especially SCI or Scopus indexed publications. Then the project will through to the next level. Otherwise, there itself at the initial screening, the project will be rejected. Okay. The second, no editorship of quality books under reputed publishers like Springer or Elsevier. You forget about all this. It is never going to happen without publication, good publication. Okay. Next, you are not at all eligible for reputed private or government institutions. I hope you people know more than me about all these, because these days the job scarcity is not there in computer science or other branches, but people or institutions are very strict and particular about the quality of publications you are having. Next, no edit of international conference proceeding, means you cannot be a editor of any good reputed international conference, which is again a problematic scenario for you. Also, if you are not having good publication, you cannot get a proper review request from a good journal. Here, please note it down. Good journal, I mean good journal means only I used to talk about the quartile journals. Quartile journal means Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 journals. Okay. And obviously the last one is true, which is no healthy promotion. To promote ourselves or to do some good scenario publications or to achieve something at present day of academics, we need definitely some quality publications. Okay. Now, what is the problem where we are standing? What is exactly our problem? Why we cannot reach at that level what the journal or the publisher or publication point of view they want or the editor wants. Okay, let us discuss. The first point is problem finding and analysis capability. Now please let me tell you, while we used to accept any paper for review, I'm not telling paper acceptance, I'm telling just I'm accepting the paper for what? Reviewing purpose. Okay, I need to review the paper. Being editor, I'm telling you now. Okay, what we used to find very first in the paper, whether the problem what you found is a genuine problem or it is a recurrent problem, or it is a past long solving problem. For example, hope everybody might know solving NACSA problem in algorithm design, analysis and algorithm. Okay, we have fractional NACSA problem, NACSA problem, all these kind of basic problems of algorithms, right? These days people also doing new algorithms for solving the same problem, or you can consider any of the good problem of TSP, traveling salesman problem, right? But the point is, this problem is not a new or relevant problem to the current scenario. Okay, so there is a fair chance, fair means 50-50% chance, whether the scope of the journal is going to meet your topic or not. Please remember, it is very important to have a proper problem finding and finding the problem in a proper direction, so that you will analyze the problem with a good capability. If your finding problem part is not at all good, then somewhere definitely you are going to face the issue and problem. Means your work is done, you have published it, it is going to be completed, everything is okay. At the end, you are not able to find it, means any solution for that. The reason for that means while rejection you are getting, you don't know why I am getting the rejection. But rejection behind that is first the problem selection. Okay. Now come to the second. Less interest to know the new innovations means what is exactly happening in current days, these days, that we need to know. It is very important and crucial. Until we are not coming, what is the present algorithm, what is the present problem. Present means I am talking about today, yesterday, this week. I am not talking last week. If you are thinking last year one problem, then somewhere you need to back towards the literature. Okay. Don't think about the last year or last month. Please think about the last week, what has been developed, so that I can develop something from that. You need to start your work from that point of view. No need to think about what has been developed in last month or last year. You can refer those for your literature, but no need to take those. Okay. Coming to the next, laziness, obviously, and the red one, coding capability. Most of us are suffering with coding capability, and most of the faculties also, they used to tell I am very poor in coding. If except coding anything is there, please tell us, we will do. But with coding, don't tell me all this. Next, squeeze thinking. Squeeze thinking means we used to think the way, the process, let it go on in a normal way. Why we need to think so much about what is happening, what is not happening? That's called squeeze thinking. Second, somebody else is publishing. We are very narrow-minded to go over there to ask them what exactly you have published. Can we work jointly? This is a problem of maximum people, what I have found in my academic scenario too. Okay. Coming to not updated with the present market scenario, happy with paid publications. This is very common in most of the faculties. They used to feel if any journal I am ready to pay some 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, no problem. Due to that, I hope everybody knows, like in Hyderabad and Bangalore, most of the companies or third parties are ready to take some money from you and help you in your PhD. This is a very business kind of process what is happening in the market. But you people don't know how they used to suffer and how they used to make you people suffer. Okay. Coming to thinking ability, you have to think little beyond of the problem, still not realizing the importance of publishing. This is very important, especially in the era of 2023 or 20th century. In this scenario, if you are good of teaching 2, 3, 4, 5 subjects, that is not at all enough. Please remember, you have to go for number of good things, good advanced topics, what is happening in these days, and from that you need to exactly realize what is the importance of publishing. Until you won't realize why exactly I need to publish, then you cannot reach at that point. It is a very concise idea, I can say. Okay, so these are the problems where we are not able to go forward. Now, please think yourself with these points. As I told you, we are entering into the subject. Now, when you are ready with your publication, how can you do your publication? Is your published article is ready for the market? And most importantly, whether the publishing scenario is allowing you to go further or not. That means the article or the research what you have done, is it okay, is it ready to go further, so that you can tell my article I can publish. Okay, so let us have some points. Have I done something new or interesting? Is there anything challenging in my work or not? Is my work related to directly to a current hot topic like machine learning or IoT or big data or any of the problem of real life? Have I provided solutions to some difficult problems? These are the basic questions you need to first ask yourself before you will apply to any of the good journal. Again, good journal indicates either Scopus or SCI index journals. Okay. Now, if all these answers are yes, then you can start your preparations for your manuscript. Trust me, no problem at all. But if any of the response is no out of these 4 questions, you can probably submit your paper to a local journal or low quality journal, because if your work is not that much interesting, none of the SCI publisher means SCI based publications or publishers are not going to take your paper. Just keep mind in that. So it is very, very important in our aspect to gain the basic insights where and how I need to go, where and how I need to publish, whether I am ready for publication or not. Just mere means some people what they do, mere they apply few algorithm by using Python and they think everything is ready and I am ready for what next level paper publication, which is completely wrong. Because in Python, using Python, many of the people, including MATLAB also, many of the people these days, what they are doing, importing some data set, finding some results and coming towards the next over. They are thinking my paper is ready. Something they will write and the paper is going to be accepted. But when the paper is not going to be accepted, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times it is going to be rejected from different journals, then they used to feel what is the problem, where is the problem. Okay, there they used to start thinking where I have done the mistake. But by that time, if you are taking to 6 months for your experiment, 6 months for your writing paper, or 2 months for writing paper, 8 months, 2-3 months you are spending for communicating different journals, 1 year here only over. So when your paper is going to publish, when you are going to publish your paper, by that time some other paper or some other author might do the work on the same concept. So, first part is choose the target journal. How you need to choose the target journal? Please have some common questions what I am trying to show you. Please see some of the common questions what you should ask or what you should think before you will select the right journal, right? First one, do not gamble by scattering your manuscript to many journals at the same time. So most of the author, they used to feel I will apply my paper in 2, 3, 4, 5 journals at a time and anywhere it will be accepted, no, so no problem at all. 99% you are wrong. 1% if you will be safe for publication of your manuscript, then 1% lies only on your luck. That means if any of the reviewer of all those 5 journals are not equal, okay, or common, if any of the reviewer found that the same paper he received from 2 or 3 different journals, by that time you will be completely blacklisted from that journal or publishing any scientific article in any journal. That means you may get banned from the scientific community itself. So this is a very strict procedure while submitting the manuscript. You might have seen, or those who are doing new research, please remember while submitting the manuscript, one option will come. Whether solely you are publishing or solely you are submitting this article to this journal and you are not submitted this article to any other journal. You are ticking that. Ticking means you are agreeing onto that condition. So don't do that. Coming to next one. Only submit once and wait for the response of the editor and the review. The most common way of selecting the right journal is to look at the articles you have consulted to prepare your manuscript, because which journal is suitable for your article, that is also very important to think. Probably most of them are concentrated in one or two journals. Okay, it is very important. More than that, don't concentrate unnecessarily. You will get confused. This journal is good, that journal is good, this journal is having high impact factor, that journal is SCI, this journal is Scopus, like that. So you will be in that travel of many journals. Outcome is zero, big zero. Okay, don't do like that. And don't consider, that means you know what is the quality of your work, right? Based on the quality of your work, don't think I will submit to a very high quality journal, or I will submit to a normal journal, or some average impact factor based journal. Means starting from 0.1 to 1. Those are supposed to be known as average impact factor based journal. Impact factor having the journal which is having the impact factor 0.1 to 1. Okay, in between that you can try with those journals with your basic of work. Okay, but most of the people in some of the greediness, what they used to do, they used to apply the paper in most of the very good journal like Nature, Science, the Lancet, the Cell, where 90% means more than 90% of the papers are going to be rejected only, and humbly they will tell that your paper is not in scope or your paper is not at all acceptable in this journal due to low quality work. At that time you may get discouraged by yourself, why I submitted my paper to this journal. Okay, so don't do this. At least be fair to yourself, which journal I should apply, which journal I should not, so that in the era of 2, 3 or 4, means you choose maximum 2, 3 journals where easily you can submit your paper. Now come to the point, what the reviewers and editors want exactly in a journal, what they want, what you are lagging. Does the paper contain sufficient new material or not? I really mean it. What is meant by sufficient new material? Especially in the methodology and the result. Please remember, in the methodology section and the result section, sufficiently you should have new material to justify your article. Second, is the topic within the scope of the journal or not? That means the journal is all of machine learning. You are going to try with cloud computing, which is not going to be accepted. So after 1 month or 2 months, the journal will tell the paper is not accepted because it is not in the scope of this journal. Got it? The next, is it presented concisely and well organized or not? Means the article should not be very less number of pages, means it should not contain pages like 10 pages, 11 pages or 15 pages like that, or it should not contain so many number of pages like more than 80, 100 or 110, something like that. Okay, there is a standard rule of every research article. Means again, in research article there are number of articles, types of article that we will discuss, but please be sure that your presented method or the presentation what you are doing in your paper must be concise and well organized. Are the methods and experiments presented in the way that they can be replicated again, so that next level work can be done, or the work is over in your paper itself? That you need to decide. Are the results presented adequately? This is very important, because you need to justify your work only through your result. So if your result part is okay, which is justifying your methodology, then remaining part will be by default it will be okay in the paper. Okay. So is the discussion is relevant, concise and well documented? Are the conclusions supported by the data presented or not? Is the language is acceptable or not? Are the figures tables are adequate and well designed or not? Are there information of duplicacy or not? Are there too many? That means too many tables, too many figures, too many algorithm also justifies the strictness of your paper. So don't ever think if I'll keep more than 50, 60, 100 number of figures in my paper, the reviewer or the editor will get impressed. They won't see anything. Simply they will accept our paper. That is completely wrong information. Okay. Now, all the references cited in the text included in the reference list. This is very important. Again, the reason is the references what you are keeping at the end of the article all must be cited in the paper. If anything which is not cited, that means you are not able to justify how the reference is going to be relevant to your work. Okay. Now, what should be the main focus while you are writing the paper? The main focus should depend on these four key points. The first one, introduction. Second, the methods. Third, the results. Fourth one, the discussion. Okay. Now coming to the intro, exactly what you are going to do. What did you or others do? Why did you do it? Simple. See, these points, what I am telling you, every means each of the participants in this program, I am requesting you thoroughly, please sit quietly and listen all these slides very relevantly. At the end, definitely you will gain such good things about publication. At least you will not have doubts in your mind why my paper got rejected and where I am lagging actually. What at our end, being reviewer or being editor, what we want, what at your end, being the author, you are able to not able to give that to us. These are the two bridging gaps where you are the key role. Means you are playing the key role being an author, where you need to justify your role towards the manuscript. Now, in the introduction, there are two things you need to focus very clearly. If these two things are there, then initial screening of the editor definitely will pass. The first one, what you are doing, what other people are doing. The second one, why did you do it? These two questions you must find. Second one, coming to the methods, how did you do it? It is very important. Don't tell the method I have used this, I got the result. This is simple, very simplistic statements many people used to write, which is completely wrong. Don't write like that. Please try to explain yourself with the method, how you have done that method actually. Okay. Coming to the result, what did you find? Coming to the discussion of the conclusion, what does it all mean? Means where you have started, why you have started, where you have ended, how you have ended. These all questions, if answered properly, then trust me, everything is okay only. Otherwise, somewhere there is a problem. Okay. Now, come to the next slide. Please pay attention to the journal requirements in the guide of the authors. That means while you are going to apply for any journal, please remember any journal. I mean any journal. Definitely you will find one tagline in that journal website, author guideline or guideline for the author. Okay. Either it is in the online version or it is in the PDF version. Before you will apply, please go for it. Don't write your manuscript by using MS Word and directly go to the journal page and submit it. No, don't do like that. Unnecessarily, they will send you multiple times. You will respond back multiple times, which is having no use at all. I hope you understand very clearly. So you must apply the guide for authors to the manuscript very clearly what the journal wants. From the very beginning, that is the first draft. That means how to prepare the first draft using proper text layout, reference citation, nomenclature, figures and the tables. Okay. So these all points should be clearly pointed out by the journal. Those should be there in your article, which is very important. Coming to the next part, you must know that all the editors had to wasting time in poorly prepared manuscript. If you will ask me here as a role of editor, I will tell you per day at least on an average 6 to 7 paper I used to reject in IEEE transactions and Elsevier. The reason behind rejection is very simple. At the initial screening, the journal is telling something, the author has written something. I am not talking about the technicality. I am just seeing the layout of the manuscript. Okay. So it is very important how you design your manuscript. That much impressive the manuscript will be for the authors, for the editors, for the reviewers, for the editor in chief, and at the end for the readers who is going to read the paper. Okay. Ultimately, we are going to publish the paper for the readers only, right? The reader who will refer our paper, the reader who are going to read our paper. Okay. Now, they may well think that the author shows no respect. Why? If the authors are not at all following the journal guideline, then there is no meaning of keeping those many information, though you are keeping lots of results and figures in your paper. It has no meaning, no value. Please remember it. So, the basic tip is before submitting to any journal, please go to the guide for the author. Please see what they are telling as a basic guideline, very pinpointed. Don't think, okay, it is single column, double column, reference format, then everything is okay. Don't feel like that, please. Because apart from that, the style of the reference, the style of the table caption, figure caption, the delimiters in the table, the algorithmic format, the abstract, number of words restrictions, number of total words restrictions in the journal. So there are number of questions are there. Okay. You need to find out all those questions in the author guideline section. So now please come to the basic process of a paper. While you are submitting, what exactly being done at our end? Let me tell you. So is the diagram is completely visible on your screen? Everybody's screen? Can anybody please reply? Means the down portion of the diagram is visible. Down portion, invoicing, publication.
Visible, sir, visible.
Visible. Okay, okay, fine.
Are able to
So, so please, hello.
we are able to see
Is
all
there any anybody saying anything?
diagram is visible, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. So, if you will come, you can see my pointer. I hope now you can see my pointer too. So, I am starting from this. Okay, means the submission. Okay, the red color pointer. So, at the submission, the author is submitting the paper. Fine. What used to happen? You come to the pre-check. Let me choose the highlighter. Highlighter of pen. Okay. Now you see, whilst we are coming from submission to pre-check. Okay. At the pre-check, who does the pre-check? For every journal, please remember there is a journal manager. Okay. Don't think that the editors or the associate editor, we people used to do the pre-check. I never do any pre-check of the article. The task of the pre-checking is the journal manager. So every journal is having one person called journal manager. The journal manager will pre-check. What are the basic pre-check of an article? The first one, whether the format is okay or not. Okay, the format. The first one is the format. Okay. The second one, the plague percentage. I hope everybody is aware about plagiarism. We will discuss one slide about that also. The plague percentage, whether the journal constraint about the plagiarism percentage is matching or not. Third, whether in all aspect of reference, citations, and basically the conflicting of authors. Means one author conflict or author consent will be there. All these are there in the article or not. If there, the pre-check will qualify. From pre-check, it is next step is what? Please tell. Pre-review. So in pre-review, we people used to do the pre-review. Pre-review means editor or one associate editor will be assigned. After the chief editor assigns, means after the pre-check, it will be assigned to the chief editor or editor-in-chief of the journal. He will assign the paper to the associate editor. The associate editor will put the paper in review. From review, there will be two things. One is either the paper needs revision or the paper will directly go for editorial decision. Okay, whether it is to be accepted or to be rejected. Okay. See, while the editor decision putting, he may put two kind of revision. One is minor revision, one is major revision. So if the reviewer comments are little lengthy or their comment are very strict forward, they may put for major revision. Or if the paper is very good written or well written paper, just it requires minor revision. In that case, it will go for minor revision. Okay. Now coming to final decision, you will have either reject or accept. This is review process. So I have covered all the blocks over here except one. What is that? This one. What is this? Publish in preprint. Now what is this and why it is required? Please remember, while you are going to submit the paper, if you want my work, I need to highlight that I have worked on some basic new algorithm. This new algorithm somebody else might develop in the world, right? Because you cannot assure or guarantee that the algorithm what you are working, nobody else is working at that time in the world or especially in India. Okay, some other institute, some other people might work also. So what you need to do is you can publish your preprints or pre-publication of your article. Means before it will go to the peer review, you can give your article to some of the open source or open kind of preprints publication where the article will be archived in online. Means online your article is available. The people who want to refer your article, they can refer. But do not, please keep in mind, when you are keeping your article in online mode, it doesn't ensure that definitely the article is going to publish by the journal. No, not at all like that. Okay. So what you are going to do with the online preprint, it is completely your decision, not journal's decision. Journal's decision will come after the editorial decision. So this is the basic difference between preprint and postprint of the publication. Okay. Now come to the next part. Those are the postprint section. This part. This part is the postprint section. Okay. Now please see, while you will come to the production part, you will have the copy editing, means English copy editing and all, English editing, proofreading. Journal will send you for the final camera ready copy for the proof for reading and all. It will be either converted to Word or LaTeX, anything. Then produce the final PDF, make it online. Or finally the article is going to publish. Got it? So this is a very lengthy process. If you will think at least 15 to 30 days, that means 1 month for each of these block, then definitely you may find, you can imagine how many months required to publish a good journal. Okay, but people normally used to expect my paper should publish within 2 months, 1 month in a essay journal, which is very rare. Okay, I will tell you those process also, how people have published in 1 month or 15 days about some good SCI journals also. Okay, I will discuss very detail about everything. Okay, possibly after the lecture you may not have any doubt regarding publication in any journal, and you can have any number of queries about any journal if you need any kind of help from my side, because I always try to keep awareness among the authors to give some good quality articles for your research sake. Okay. Now, what are the basic reasons for rejection? Before I'll go for the acceptance, please let us know what are the basic reasons for the rejection. Please see, the manuscript fails the technical screening. First point, as I told you, either of anyone at the initial screening, if the manuscript is able to fail the impact of the manuscript over the editors or the remaining reviewers at the initial screening only, it will get rejected. Second, the article contains elements that are suspected to be plagiarized or currently under review at another journal. then it is very difficult. And these days, good journals like Elsevier and Springer and IEEE, remember, these three companies, they are holding a software where easily with the abstract tracking, there is a tracking called abstract, okay? With the abstract tracking process, easily we can know whether the same paper is put to another journal or not, okay? So you being the author, you may not know, but at the journal side, those people they know. So be aware about that. The manuscript is insufficiently well prepared. That means lagging of key elements such like title, the author, the affiliations, the keywords, the main text, the reference, the table and figure, everything in all aspects, whether it is correct or not. Now, English is sufficient, is up to the mark or sufficient quality or not. See, most of our Indian, we used to follow either of these two, means US or UK English, or people used to say British English. Okay. Normally, what we used to say and what we used to interpret on a paper, these two things are very different. Okay. So take help of any copy editing service if you require. But while you are framing the sentence, please go through the paper again and again so that your paper will have sufficient impact on everything. And only due to English language, means lacking in the English language, the paper should not get rejected. It is very, very important to know. Okay. Some other aspects like the figures are not complete or not clear enough to read. The article doesn't conform to the most important aspects of the scientific or specific journal's author guidelines. These are the basic reasons of screening and rejection. So please think, if any of your paper got rejected, what may be the reason among all of these? Okay. Now come to the part, what is research paper, especially what is quality SCI or Scopus index paper and how to publish that. Okay. So please do remember, it is very important to have, many people they used to say the paper, the article, the manuscript, these all terms are same or different. Please remember, these all terms are same. These are not at all different, because some people they used to say paper, some people they used to say article, and some people they used to say what? Manuscript. But please remember, all are same only. Now, if you will talk about what is a quality research paper, now I don't know what is the definition for it and how you people used to think about it, but if you will ask me, it is a very systematic investigation towards increasing the sum of knowledge that can be termed as research. Simple, very simple, systematic investigation. It should not be something like very haphazard way, and your talk should be organized in such a way, means the writing of articles should be organized in such a way, it should disseminate the information or the knowledge to present some point of view on a selected topic of a research paper. Now, many of the people they used to ask me during my lecture and after the lecture whether anything can be a paper or not. Means any means whatever they are thinking, whatever they are trying to write, it is a research paper or not. Please remember, it might be a technical report, it might be a normal paper, but it may not be a high quality research paper. To justify whether a paper is of high quality or not, you need to justify many of the points and many of the aspects. Please remember. Okay. So what are the points? Step 1. What are the basic needs of your quality research? The steps needed for your paper: language, editing, building the article. Step 2. What are the paper type? Please decide which kind of paper type you are going to talk. Means whether it is original research, whether it is surveying of existing findings, or whether it is short articles. Okay. So out of these three, any one is true. Come to the step 3. What is that? Hit the goal. Means what is exactly your perfect problem? Whether you are able to open up yourself or not. So while you are going to write any article, you need to open up yourself. What do you mean by open up yourself? You need to realize what is your problem. Then you need to realize what kind of problem you are solving. Then the next step, what is the method? The next step, what are the outcomes of that method? And the next, how it differs from other methods. Then only you can justify whether you have reached at your goal or not. Got it? Come to the step 4, spread your work. That means if you are able to know your research, then definitely you will let everyone to know about your research, because it is not at all enough to know about your own research, but it is also true that remaining all the people, they should know your research. That is the reason people are hunger for citations these days. But if you are only hunger for citations, that is not enough, right? That means you need to do that much quality work so that citations will automatically come and it will increase. Neither you need to cite yourself, which is a very rubbish process most of the researchers used to follow these days. Okay. Now, what is the basic standard of length of the manuscript? Please remember, your manuscript contains the following sections. Everyone, please have a brief glance about the details of the manuscript. The first one, what is the title, which should be short and informative. Second, the abstract, which is of one paragraph but not more than 250 words. Okay. Introduction, which is of length again 1.5 to 2 pages, not more than that. Methods or methodology 2 to 3 pages. Results 6 to 8 pages. Discussions, again please remember, results and discussions are two different things. Don't mix results with the discussion, because if you are mixing these two, you may not cover more than 3 to 4 pages. Okay. So in discussion you can keep 4 to 6 pages. Conclusion, you need to write one paragraph again or two paragraphs, that is up to you, means which type of problem you are going to solve. Depending on that, your conclusion you may write. Coming to the figures, 6 to 8 per page. Tables again 1 to 3 per page. References 20 to 50, not more than that. Some people, what they do is, normally they used to refer so many articles in the references, which is not a good practice. If it is a review paper, you can refer more than 100-150 papers, no issue in that. But coming to experimental paper, if you are writing a normal experimental paper of 20 to 25 pages, but for that you are simply mentioning more than 100 or 150 references, then there is no use. Means every one line, that means what? The editor will understand every second line you have referred from other article. So you have not written a single line of your own. Got it? What is the interpretation of many number of references when you are keeping in a manuscript? So how to publish? So what we need to do is, we need to read, we need to think, we need to talk, and we need to write. And at the end, are they easy? It's a question. It is easy if you are making it easy, or else it is going to be hell. Okay. Now, if you are ready to publish, please tell me whether you are sufficiently aware about the present research or not. That means people used to say all the smartphones are same, right? But reality is not that. A 5,000 cost phone is also a smartphone. 50,000 cost phone is also a smartphone. Okay. So don't, while you are explaining, don't explain that a simple smartphone, I have purchased a simple smartphone. If you are talking like that, it is a very generic statement. Okay. So don't use such generic statements about the present research. While you are going to think about some of the good concepts at present day, you need to be very much specific. Now, have you searched about the past research? The second point. You might have seen, this is a very common line what I have kept. Soft computing, machine learning and computational intelligence all are same. But are they all same? I need to ask any of you, or at the end, you please rethink yourself. What is your research area? If your research area is soft computing or machine learning or computational intelligence, or the broader sense I can say artificial intelligence, right? These days artificial intelligence is on the peak, no? So if I am going to talk about any of these, can you please tell me that which one is true? or all are they all same? Actually, they are all not same. You need to understand that soft computing, machine learning, computational intelligence, these all are different methodologies where we need to discuss about several different real life problems for using these methods. Okay. You should consider publishing if you have information that advances understanding in a certain scientific field. Then only you can see or you can realize that you are ready to publish. Now, coming to how do you decide whether your manuscript is strong or not? Means how far you are going to justify about your manuscript. Whether your manuscript is having clear problem definition or not. Second, nice but brief explanation about the problem. Many people they do a simple common mistake in the introduction section is while they used to talk about the problem, they used to write so many history. Do you know what is history? Suppose I am going to talk about intrusion detection, which is one of the basic problem of network security. Okay. So when I'm going to talk about intrusion detection, people used to start from network security. I don't understand why. If you are going to talk about network security, please write only one or two line. What is the role of intrusion detection in network security? Then it would be okay. But if you are writing network security 2-3 paragraphs, then you are coming to intrusion detection, being you are thinking, oh, I have given a very nice and clear problem statement, it's completely wrong only. Okay. So writing the clear problem but in a brief way is very important. Now, the content should be useful and exciting, presented with logical arguments, because if you are going to, what is the basic meaning of presented with logical arguments? Let me tell you one basic example. These days two kind of research are very common, like machine learning and deep learning. Many of the people they used to think, just a second. Okay, so many of the people they used to think for a problem I should apply machine learning or I should apply deep learning. The basic common answer to 60% or 70% of the people are having is what do you know? A simple mythological statement. Machine learning is outdated, deep learning is newly going on. So let us please go for deep learning so that I should feel that I am using the latest technology. But they completely used to forget whether the problem what they are considering is really suitable for deep learning or not. So they will write lot of think a lot of aspects about number of just hold a second. Ujitabu, hello. ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ହଁ ହଁ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟକରେ ଥିଲି ତ ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଆପଣ କଲଟା କାଟୁଥିଲେ ଠିକ ଅଛି ହଉ so what you need to do is if you are going to talk about a basic problem where you are able to find what whether it is suitable for the machine learning or the deep learning. Now, a basic common question I used to ask to many people, why do you think when the problem statement is very normal or the size of the data is very normal or less number of attributes we are considering for your problem, why do you think deep learning is suitable for the problem? So what the author does the mistake, normal data of something called 200 or 300 kind of rows or columns has considered. He has taken one deep learning algorithm, something called LSTM or CNN or autoencoder or GAN or anything which is of advanced kind of nature, applied the algorithm, find out some results, started writing paper, applying to the journal. But the reviewer is telling the work is not at all substantial. The author is thinking I have taken new data, I have taken advanced methodology of deep learning. Why the paper is rejected? They do not know in the presentation of normal introduction or the abstract, the author has completely failed to mention what is the basic logical arguments they should have. What is called logical argument? First question, the considered data, what you have considered is suitable for the deep learning or not. Second, if you are feeling that it is suitable for the deep learning, then you need to first justify why machine learning is not suitable for your data. Then you explain why deep learning is required for that. Instead of doing that, if you are directly proving deep learning is good, deep learning is new and advanced in nature, that's why deep learning I need to use. It is of no use at all. The paper is going to be rejected only. Okay, that's called presentation of logical argument. Now coming to the layman can grasp the content, because most of the time we used to expect that no, always don't think the experienced researcher will read your paper. So sometimes new research scholars, new research people, they can also grasp your content. Means they need to read your paper. So in that case, it is very, very important to have, means how you are writing the paper. The paper should be what? Completely get ideologies, means completely it is being understood by a complete normal layman or not, or a research scholar or not. Then the content is good. It should be free from grammatical errors, meaningful information and strong conclusion. So any problem statement you are considering, you should know what should be the end of this problem statement, or how you can conclude the problem statement. Got it? Now, why to publish? Most of the people, they used to ask me, so am I just like an advertiser, just like selling the books in the market to publish my paper and just sell it in the market of research community? But answer is not true. Okay. I hope all of you will agree with me with this slide. Why should we publish some quality research paper or SCI Scopus Index journals? The answer is academic promotion, self-satisfaction, casual practice of publishing, healthy competitions, to increase the CV length, to distinguish yourself from others. The last two is somewhat little less, and you can say very few people used to think like that. Means to change the world or to become a part of the scientific community for solving some complex problem. Now, I don't know what is your reason behind publishing any of the research paper, but if you are having a healthy practice of publishing good quality paper, then all these can be satisfied. No problem in that, hopefully. Now, where and what are the options we are having to publish our article? Please remember, we are having journal, conference, books and monograph. Okay, can I publish anywhere and any number of article? The answer is something like semi-reciprocal. Means I cannot say all of your paper can be published everywhere, but I can distinguish your publication in terms of journal, conference, books and monograph. Okay. Now, please let us know what are the possible options to publish and where you are going to publish. The first one, can you publish anywhere? Second, are those some good publishers, average publishers, indexed journals, paid index journals, which is very common in maximum of the academicians, open access journals, non-paid but good journals, again, reputed book series, technical reports, IEEE or Springer or Elsevier international conferences, national conferences. Okay, these are the possible options with you people to publish your paper. Okay, now let us decide one by one where you should not, and how it is going to be. Now, what are the manuscript styles you are having? Actually, many different kind of journals and publishers, they used to talk many different kind of standards of publications, like single column and double column. Means most of the people, they used to follow single column, but few journals, they also used to refer, like IEEE transaction paper, they used to refer double column 2. Okay. So based on the journal criteria, you can submit your paper, no problem. Please see the structure of a technical paper. So this slide onwards, the talk is going to be very technical and giving hint towards you in all the sense towards how to publish and how you can able to publish. The first structure of a technical paper, the title, the abstract, the keywords, the graphical TOC table of content, introduction, the literature survey, basic preliminaries, proposed research, experimental section, result and discussion, conclusion, acknowledgements, references, and the last supporting information or appendix. These are the basic structure of any good technical paper. Okay. Now please let us know where you are missing your information and how I can help you to publish your good paper. The first one, title. What you do while you are fixing the title, I don't know whether you people are aware about this or not. I think many senior faculties might attend this session also. I don't know how many paper you have published or how it got published. But one thing please remember, these are very important aspects which the editor-in-chief or the editor we people used to see it. Very strictly we used to see. If any of these you are not satisfying, then you will find rejection only. No way of acceptance. Okay. So what is title? How you are fixing it? You need to tell about your article to rest of the world through your title only. That means how you are going to fix your title. It is very important to fix your title in such a way so that anyone can read, anyone can get interest to read your title or the paper. The first task you need to do, please search any of the title what you are thinking in Google or Google Scholar. Okay. Attract the reader's attention so that the reader will get more interest to read your paper and they will cite also. Be particular to define your work. It should be informative and concise too. Avoid jargon and abbreviations. Jargon and abbreviations means you cannot write some abbreviative statements in the title. It is very important. The last one, don't be too short or too long. Okay, there are some restrictions in the titles too. Okay, let us see few of the examples. Please see, have a look. I have shown you 3 live titles. These are the live titles and what are the comments from the editor, and after the revision how the title has been changed. Okay, so please tell me what was the original title. The original title is Preliminary Observation on the Effect of Higher Order Neural Network in Sentiment Analysis. Okay, see what are the comment. The comment for this title is the title is too much long, readers may not read it. Why? You are using some jargon words like observations on the. What do you mean by observation on, research on? You might have seen many of the thesis title also people used to keep like this. Observation on. See, observation when we used to keep while we are doing any physics or chemistry kind of practical test. Okay, there we used to observe what is the centigrade or this chemical analysis and all. In computer science, if you are telling observation on some method, then somewhere it proves you didn't define your own method. You have used some other's method. Okay. So after revision, what has been done? The title has been revised. In the right hand side, you can see effect of higher order neural network in sentiment analysis. Simple. It is short and crisp. Come to the next one. The next title is soft computing in data mining. Now, can you please tell me what kind of title is this? Soft computing in data mining. Soft computing itself a very broad area. Second, data mining itself a very broad area, right? Problem statement area. How can you justify what you are using in soft computing and what you are using in data mining? Without using that, how can you tell that soft computing and data mining is the title for your article. Because in your article, you are using any of the machine learning algorithm for solving classification problem of data mining, maybe, for example. Then in that case, can you please tell me how can you justify the soft computing in data mining title? The title is wrong. So you need to set the title a very specific one where a very specific information you are going to message to the outside world. So what is going to revise after the revision? The same title. See, what was the title? The title was behavioral aspects of various soft computing techniques in solving classification problem. Can you see it? What is the difference in first title and second title? Means revised title. Come to the third one. Quantification of soft computing methods displaying the major properties for various wireless network. What is the comment you got? Authors doesn't know the basic English. See, such kind of comment you can get from the reviewers also or the editor. I think the authors doesn't know what they want to present. Why? Because you are writing quantification of soft computing methods, displaying the major properties where various wireless network. What you want to display? What are the major properties of wireless sensor network? If you are going to showcase the properties of wireless sensor network, it is already there in the textbook of wireless sensor network, right? Why the properties of the wireless sensor network will come in your research paper as a part? Hope you understand. So, after the revision, what you are going to find? The implications of soft computing methods for resource demand in wireless network. See, what is the difference and how far the title is differentiating from the first one to the revised one. So, while you are setting the title, you have to be very sure that the title what you are keeping is very important for the Google or for searching at the author or reader end, so that through the title only the authors can justify the whole research. Got it? Come to the next part, what is called abstract. See, here one basic falsified myth among many of the authors is there. They used to feel I can keep any line in the abstract, which is completely wrong and vague. There are basic rules to write abstract too. Okay. Abstract means what the whole paper is going to talk about, or the brief description about the complete research what you are performed. That you need to mention in your abstract. Got it? So one small paragraph you need to write. It should be in between 50 to 300 words, not more than that. Okay. Some journals they are accepting 250. Some journals they are accepting 300 words. Got it? Now, in the abstract, you need to show your exact contribution. Don't write some historical statement. For example, soft computing is very effective. Machine learning is very efficient than other algorithm. These are very common lines. You need to showcase exactly what is your contribution with avoidance of general statements, and also you should not write or you should not exaggerate your research. What does it mean? If you are exaggerating your research, you are telling my research is the novel one. I have developed a very big algorithm. My algorithm is very efficient. These are called exaggeration of your research. Okay. None of the algorithm means is very efficient or something like that. All the algorithm is having their own capability of advantages and limitations. Hope we have read all this in what design analysis and algorithm, in especially in terms of complexity. Okay. So while we are going to talk about the novelty, please be sure that the abstract has a strong influence for the further study, so that the abstract itself will tell you what exactly you are going to do. So please see a sample abstract. It is one of the famous algorithm we people know, particle swarm optimization. which got published in 1995. Okay, it is a conference paper. You can see the abstract. What is, I hope everyone knows the developer of particle swarm optimization, James Kennedy and Russell Everhart. These both people are still doing work, and in fact very good work on PSO. Okay, the algorithm is PSO, particle swarm optimization. So basically the abstract is only just contain 5 lines. You can see in that 5 line they have mentioned only 2 things. The first thing, what has been done. The second thing, what are the main findings. Okay, the last 2 lines of the abstract is visible. Can anybody please respond? All the 5 lines are visible to you people? Anyone?
Relationship between the matter form of information, both artificial life and genetic evidence.
Is the page is not visible?
Visible, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So you may see there are 5 lines, right? Very basic, no, 5 lines. So what they have read actually, particle swarm optimization, when they started, a concept for the optimization of non-linear functions using particle swarm methodology is introduced. What is the first line, guys? The first line is what they have developed directly. Okay, coming to the second line, the evolution of several paradigms is outlined and an implementation of one of the paradigm is discussed. Benchmark testing of the paradigm is described and applications including non-linear function optimization and neural network training are proposed. So directly you see what they have developed, what is the main motto behind developing this algorithm. These 2 things they have clearly mentioned in just 5 lines in the abstract. So there should not be any such crunch or very much old or historical lines in abstract. Okay. Come to the next. What is keywords? By talking about, while you are going to talk about the keywords, it is used by the indexing and abstracting purpose only, because if you are going to talk about the keyword, while keyword can be of soft computing, data mining, backpropagation neural network or something like that, normally the author, while they are searching in the Google Scholar, they used to take the help of keyword. Okay, so keyword always helps to search your article from the number of bunch of articles which are there in the Google repository kind of thing. So you can find one example, the real-time intrusion detection system for ultra high-speed big data environments. So here what are the keywords? The keywords are machine learning, intrusion detection, threats, big data, network. So it is not mandatory. Please remember, it is not at all mandatory. What are the words you have mentioned in the title? The same words should be mentioned in the keyword. Not at all. Okay. Sometimes it may be, sometimes some other words which exactly showcase your work, those should be mentioned in the keywords. Clear? Now come to the graphical TOC of the abstract. The graphical abstract is what? See, please remember, graphical abstract is a one kind of what you can say. It's an optional kind of thing. It is not a mandatory part of every journal. Okay, but please remember, if you are going to give a graphical TOC or graphical abstract to the journal while you are submitting your paper, graphical TOC helps a lot to find out your paper. Means what exactly your paper talks about in a simple pictorial form, the complete graphical TOC is able to explain to the reviewer or the editor-in-chief what the author tries to do in this research. Okay, so these are a few of the things, means especially why we need graphical abstract or TOC. We need to understand the work in a pictorial form. I am having one example. You can see one example. So what is this actually? The article is all about the side effects and symptomatic infections that emerged following COVID-19 vaccination among 12 to 18 years old Iranian people in 2021. Basically, it is a COVID paper. Okay. How the graphical abstract is, you please see from the first time to the last time. You can see three segments of your slide. Okay. The first segment, second segment, and the third segment. Got it? Please remember, this is only one slide. Okay. So what they have written in the introduction, I'm starting from the left hand. Is my marker, red marker is visible to you people? Can you see my marker? Anyone? Is my marker is visible? Means it is being highlighted at your end? Yeah, okay. Now please see the introduction. The people under 18 play an important role in contracting and transmitting SARS-CoV-2 infection to the other. So what they have mentioned, what is introduction, what is the aim of this research, what are the methods they have used. But a basic common thing you may see in this slide, instead of mentioning so much of theory, they have given much quantification information. Do you know what is quantification means? The numbers, especially the numbers 92.4%, 7.6%, and the pictorial information. See how neatly the diagram is able to say what is the aim and objective of this research, or what is the aim and objective behind development of this research by the author. Okay. So always a graphical TOC, any of the paper while you are designing, please remember a graphical TOC will help both the editor-in-chief and other members of editors to check everything thoroughly and to get a complete glimpse of your work, what the author have done the work in most of the scenario of the lengthy paper. Means somebody who is not having time to read the complete paper, he can clearly understand by seeing your graphical TOC. Okay. Now come to introduction. Now while you are going to talk about introduction, you need to focus few things very strictly. The first one, explain how much you know about your work, please. Second, it should be elaborative but brief to subject context. As I told you earlier, don't write too much in the introduction. Please fix maximum 4 to 5 paragraphs. And you need to define the problem statement. You need to discuss the existing solutions. Have a comparative glimpse about the existing solutions. What are the problems of existing solutions? That too. What is your motto to achieve it? Point-wise illustration about the contribution. Not more than 4 sections. As I told you, dedicate the last section to the section division. What does it mean? Always remember, in any good paper, you may go through, you may refer any of the good paper. Directly go to the introduction. You may find maximum 4 or 5 paragraphs. In that, the last paragraph is all about the contribution of the paper and the section division. Okay. This is a basic standard rule to write introduction. But instead of knowing that, what we used to do is simply we will write 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs, 4, 5 pages. So lengthy introduction, where there is no meaning of writing so much of lengthy introduction without any reason. Okay. So please be sure that your introduction will attract people, neither it will distract the people to read your article. Okay. So what are the basic tips? If you want the basic tips to how to write the introduction, never use some more words than necessary. That means you need to be very to the point. Don't make this section a history lesson. Okay. History lesson means in some era in before 1990, before 1950, somebody has told like this. So don't use such kind of statements in the introduction. Be specific towards your problem. We all know that you are keen to present your new data, but do not forget that you need to give the whole picture at first, because if the complete statement in the intro, what you are mentioning about the objective, then only I will get interest to read your paper. Otherwise, I have zero interest to read your paper. The introduction must be organized from the global to the particular point of view, especially guiding the readers to your objective when writing this paper. This is very important. Why? Because if you are going to write the objective which is merely satisfying 2 or 3 points, which is having no meaning actually. So always you need to state the purpose of your paper and research strategy to adapt, especially to answer the questions, but you should not mix the introduction with the result or the discussion or the conclusion. Most of the people what they does, they used to write too much about the methods in the introduction, which is a wrong practice. Don't write any unnecessary things in the introduction and always keep them separate, especially the result, discussion and the conclusion from the introduction section. The hypothesis and objective must be clearly remarked. Expressions such as novel, first time, first ever and parallelism changing are not at all preferred. Please remember. Why? It is a very common line from many people. They used to write, for the first time I have developed this algorithm, or my algorithm is very novel, or this is the first ever algorithm. Till date it has been designed as compared to any of the algorithm present in the literature. So while you are claiming such kind of very what you can say big statements in your article, be sure about that such statement can be written or not, because have you checked the literature thoroughly? Just checking 10 or 20 papers and you are telling that none of the paper or none of the author has developed such kind of algorithm is not at all a good or fair practice to write such statement in the introduction. Okay, so don't exaggerate such kind of words in your introduction section. Please remember. Now come to the literature survey. You need to focus some of the best published articles. Best published means good journal publications. Maintain the time limit to the last 5 years. Don't go so old literature. Suppose now it is 2023. Maximum you can select the paper for your research from 2018 onwards. Last 5 years. You can refer some article more than that, but if you are including such article more than those are old references and many of those research are completely outdated. So there is no meaning of referring those articles again in the paper, but orally you can refer, no problem on that. Coming to citations to some of the paper from the respective journal, tabular comparison of the considered literature. This is very crucial while you are mentioning literature survey. Most of the people what they feel is literature survey means writing 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. X has done this, Y has done like this, Z has done this, X has compared this. So this is not at all acceptable, because while you are going to talk about the tabular comparison about the considered literature, suppose we have considered 15 to 20 literature paper. Okay, give some paragraphs of 10 to 8 to 10 paper. But rest of the paper, or including all those 8 papers, please keep a separate tabular comparison so that it will be very easy for the editor to mention the comparison is too much fair and the research or the literature what the author had mentioned is completely updated, not outdated. Okay, so it is very important to understand the updated research in the present field what you are going to talk about. Now mention the objective and outcome of each of the citations. Avoid citing paid, online or cheap journals. Don't keep some cheap journal citations in your paper, because if you are referring any of such cheap journal in your paper, then there itself it signifies that the author has not at all updated the research and the author is unaware about the present research. Got it? So any of the journals you are referring, please refer some good publisher or good journals. Now, what is the process of surveying the literature? The basic process for surveying the literature is you need to read the abstract, the heading and the subheading. Okay, why? Most of the paper you will find most of the content in the abstract, the introduction last paragraph as I told you in the previous slide, and in the conclusion. Got it? So while you are surveying the literature, it should be very concise about the charts, the statistics, the graphs, and what are the other contents the author used to tell about. Okay. Read the reference list, read the introductory and summary paragraphs too. Because while you are going to talk about introductory and summary paragraph, they will tell you exactly what the paper is all about. And the paper will help you how we can go beyond of the literature, means what the author is intent to do and what I can extract the information from the literature. These both should match with each other. Then only the literature review will be in a good form or good safe. Okay. You can see the basic mistakes. Now, how many people are listening to me? You please see this slide. How many of you have done the mistake while citing the literature in this way? The first one, L. Wolf et al. 2011 facial recognition technology can. Okay. The second one, 11 describe the method. What is 11 here? 11 is the reference number. Okay. The third one, Nayak et al. Has developed a PSNN for classifying the images. At the end, the reference number 20. Okay. The fourth one, Nayak, Sarma, Das, Singh, Raut, Paswan developed a single layer. This is also okay. And the last one, Nayak et al. 20 has developed a PSNN for classifying the images. So I have shown you variety of forms of citing the references. So as for my knowledge, definitely you people might have referred any of these, right? It's either in the form of first one or the second one or the third one or the fourth one or the fifth one. But which one is the truth? Means which one is the correct one? The last one. Except the last one, remaining everything whatever it is written over here, everything is wrong only. Means wrong format of citing. Don't cite the reference number over here and there of exactly on the author side, on the writing side or the technology side. You should not keep like that. While you are mentioning the reference number, please be sure that the reference number must be cited with with the author. Okay. Sometimes this is true. What is true? This one. The last means keeping the reference at the end before the full stop. This you can do for some normal statement, but you cannot mention one author name from the beginning and its corresponding citation at the end. This is not possible, or this is not at all correct format of putting the citation of the reference. Now, what are the basic preliminaries? Please remember the method what you are going to develop. Apart from that method, other method you will definitely consider to compare your result, means your method result with those paper result. While you are going for the comparison, definitely you will have, that means you will find out some of the previous method or classical methods I should write in the section called basic preliminaries. And this is not mandatory, this is an optional section. Okay. So briefly, you need to describe about the methods for a new reader. Don't be too much elaborative too. That means the reader who is already knows about the algorithm, it's okay. They may not read the algorithm again. But for the first time reader who are going to read your paper, they should understand what are the basic methods. So it is better to keep some of the important basic methods in the section called basic preliminaries before the proposed method. Now come to the next section, the proposed research. Here you need to discuss how the problem is studied. It is very, very important because your problem will say how it has been studied, exactly the way you wanted, or some of the other way it has got diverted by the time. So that decision you need to take while you are going to propose any of the research. You need to give the details about the proposed method. You need to mention in flowchart or process diagram or the pseudocode. In the proposed research, please remember, if you are not maintaining any of these, means flowchart, process diagram, or the pseudocode, then definitely the paper may not accept. The reason is there is no flowchart, there is no process diagram, there is no pseudocodes in your paper, especially for the proposed method. So it is very important to have proper kind of formatting of the paper and about the proposed research while you are going to talk about the formation of the proposed research. Now, try to maintain the flow of the content. That means your proposed research should maintain complete flow of the content what has been already studied or already explained in the before section of proposed research. Come to the experimental section where you need to give your data as a information. You need to experiment, means experimental machine set of information, means what kind of hardware, software you have used for your experiment. That section you can keep in experimental section. How the proposed method worked on the data. It is important. Why? Because you might have considered some data. That data you can mention in the experimental setup section. Again, in the experimental section, how the proposed method what you have considered is again kept on the working of the data. It is also very important. So while we are going to talk about the proposed method, it is very important to realize which kind of data I have considered and how my proposed method behaves with the considered data. Those writings you need to explain in the experimental section. Coming to compare with other method worked. See, what is the advantage you will get if you will compare your method to some of the other published work. Don't compare with the unpublished work. You can compare with the published work of some of the other method. To justify your research is advanced to them. Second, your research what you are doing is a prolific field where you can do a lot of work. So, to justify your work is the latest one, you need to cite the remaining paper in your paper so that your paper will become a standard for the next level researcher. Okay. Next, you come to the results and discussion. Now, while you are going to talk about the results and discussion part, you need to mention the results in the table and the graphs. Okay. Means completely how many tables and graphs you can use, it is good for your problem statement. Now you need to be very much analytical while you are discussing the result. Mention all the comparisons, means which are the methods, how many comparisons have been done. So all those comparisons I need to mention. Focus on the discussions, because after result section definitely you will have discussion section on the performance of the method, how it will work, where it is going to be stored, and the remaining part of the technicality of the discussion. Now it should include, or you should include, the statistical analysis or validation result. Why? Because if you are talking about statistical analysis, at the one point you have, means the author have told that my results are very good. How can you justify your result is very good? Though your results are really good, but those results can be justified or validated with some of the statistical analysis tools like ANOVA or other kind of tools. Now, compare the published results with yours by citing the references. If this you are keeping in your paper, then definitely it is going to be a strong paper only, because the editor will come to know the author has the dare to compare their method with the other methods. Got it? Now give the proper justification towards the proposed method. While you are going to talk about the proper justification, you need to start with the justification of the proposed method, especially while experimental articles you are doing, means not a review article, experimental article when you are doing, the justifications towards the proposed method is required, because prior to, as I told you, prior to a experiment, which other experiment has been conducted, to know that.
Yes.
So how can you write the discussion part? While you are going to write the discussion, please avoid the statements that go beyond of what the result can support, because while you are discussing, some of the result will get produced definitely. While those results are produced, you should not write a statement that will go beyond of the results. Beyond of the result in the sense, any of the method which is not performing well, but you are telling it's performing well. Okay. Now coming to avoid unspecific expressions such as higher temperature at a lower rate, highly significant. Please, it's better to avoid such quantitative or unspecific expressions. But instead of that, what we can do? 35° cent. Is it visible? My slide is changing.
So,
Okay. So while we are going to talk about which slide? I think. Yeah. So while we are going to talk about the quantitative experiments, so definitely you need to mention with the symbols like degree of centigrade or Fahrenheit, percentage symbol, or which is of less than or higher than symbols kind of thing. Okay. So you need to also avoid few sudden introduction of the new terms or ideas because everything should be in the introduction. So many of the people what they used to feel, if possible interpretations are allowed, but I need to keep too much about my method, especially I need to showcase my method in such a good way, like my method used to perform in a very excellent way, or my method dominates over other methods. Such kind of statement you need to avoid in discussion section. You need to only completely focus about the possible interpretations, possible terms of the results. Okay. Now, if you are, how we can know what you are discussing in your proposed method, whether it is good or not. See, how do these results relate to the original question or the objective outlined in the introduction section? Means, if in the introduction you are telling machine learning is very effective, down you are showing the higher accuracy towards machine learning, definitely your proposed method is going to be justified. Otherwise, you cannot. So always please remember the questions what you have raised in the introduction, those questions and the objective are supposed to be merged with the introduction and the proposed section in such a way the proposed section result should justify towards the questions or the claims of the introduction section. Okay. So do the data support your hypothesis? Are your results consistent with what other investigators have reported? That means you need to justify your result as compared to other investigator in the tabular format. Now you need to discuss the weaknesses and discrepancies too. Means what are the basic weakness of your article along with what are the discrepancies you may have in your article. So is there another way to interpret your result? Yes or no? That you need to decide. What further research would be necessary to answer the questions raised by your result and explain what is new in your method without exaggerating. Most of the researcher does this mistake. They used to write so many things about the proposed method in an exaggerated way, which definitely dominates, means which kills the basic motto of the proposed method. And we people, being editor or reviewer, we people used to feel very bad why they have written so many things in the paper, especially in the support of the proposed method. Please remember one point I want to mention here. If you are contradicting your method or you are supporting your method, it doesn't matter. The matter is if you can keep any of them in a good sense in your proposed method. Means if you are contradicting with the justification, it is also okay to publish. If you are supporting your result of the proposed method, that's also okay to publish. But don't tell your method is the good method or the best method as compared to any method. That's not true. Because there is always no free lunch algorithm, right? So if you are going to talk about any of the goodness of the algorithm, you need to justify all the parameters, which is not at all possible in a good research paper. While we are going to write or we are going to talk about the algorithm, it is very, very important to discuss all the parameters of that algorithm. Then only you can say, yes, my paper is a justified one or my result is a justified one. Okay. Now, how to prepare the figures and the tables? Please see, you need to please avoid the crowded plots. Crowded plot means people used to keep these days. People used to keep AUC ROC. Hope everybody know area under curve the analysis. AUC ROC is good, but not in all the senses in all the cases of machine learning or deep learning algorithm. So, if a simple general plot can justify your result, unnecessarily you should not keep so much of crowded plots. Think about some of the appropriate axis label size. The most common mistake used to do from the people end, especially while you are using Python pyplot or MATLAB, what they used to do, they used to simply copy the figure and paste in the paper or Word file. They used to forget about the axis or the label size. While you are keeping all the figure, please mention everything on the x-axis and y-axis. What are the basic information you need to keep? Now, include the clear symbols and the data sets that are easy to distinguish. Because if your symbols are very crystal and clear and the data sets what you are using, these two are very good, then definitely we will have a good impression on the figure. And figures should be explanatory. What the figure, what kind of figure you are keeping in a paper, it should explain to the author, to the reader, to the reviewer that what kind of figure you are keeping, what is the reason behind keeping that figure. So never include long boring tables. That means properties of deep learning. See, everybody knows deep learning since last 10 years or a decade or more than a decade. Nobody is telling you to keep the properties of the deep learning. If you are keeping properties of the deep learning of your paper or in the table, then something wrong you are doing. Why? Because this is a very common information about the deep learning. Okay. Now see, use of the photographs. While you are going to choose the photographs, it is completely up to you. Being the author, you need to decide whether you need to use color photograph or black and white photograph or other kind of photograph. But photograph means figures. You can tell it figure. Okay. So while you are going to talk about the figure, please remember the figure clarity. At least it must have 300 dpi. Okay. If your figure is of less than 300 dpi, then the journal will refund your paper so many times until you have not done a good figure. So while you are supplying any kind of photograph or figure to your paper, you should be sure that it is of more than 300 dpi. Okay. The lines and the histogram. While you are putting the lines and the histogram, don't misuse the lines. Means the lines joining the data only can be used when presenting the time series or consecutive samples data. That means you need to realize exactly when we need line, when we need histogram. Okay. If we have a progressive growth of the data, please remember, if we have a progressive or decreasing growth of the data, you can keep that in the form of lines. Where to use histogram? If you are trying to showcase the quantitative experiments, means quantity of 10 kg, 50 kg, all this kind of information, age, then you may have some sort of relationship between your data and the histogram. Okay, you can see one example. I have shown you three kind of lines. The first one, the hours of sun. Here you can see the x-axis and y-axis data. What are the x-axis and y-axis data? Are three figures are visible to you? Please respond. All three figures visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So please see the down figure and this figure. So here what has been done? Here actually it is lambda per meter square. Here it also lambda per meter square. Here hours of the sun. Okay. This is actually some kind of day wise data. You can see some dates 1/6/1993, 3/6/1993, like that, some day wise data. Okay, so every day you want what is the exact inclination, means increase or decrease of hours of sun. For that reason you are using these graphs. It's okay. Now, if you are going to talk about the amount of larva, there if you are using such kind of graph, I don't think it is a feasible or good graph. Instead of that, you can use such kind of histogram. Why? Histogram will justify the amount, either it is in a good way or little decreasing way. Okay. So you need to decide before you are going to keep your chart or your graph in your paper, which kind of chart or which kind of line or which kind of graph is exactly suitable for your data or for your paper. Okay. Now, use of decimal lines in the table. Please see what are the decimal lines. The decimal lines is, one is depth, one is gravel, one is sand, one is mud. See, people used to do a very good research, no doubt in that. Their methods also same, it's okay. But if you are going to talk about such kind of table, see, I have kept here the decimal lines, but I didn't keep what is the basic information you may find, means what is wrong with the first table, what is right in the second table. You can see in the first table, the depth is in meter, okay. How many times meter is repeated? 3 times. Okay. Come to the gravel, again percentage equal 3 times. Come to sand, percentage 3 times. Come to mud, again percentage 3 times. Got it? This is a wrong information you are putting in the table. Do you really think, being the editor or the reviewer, we never observe such kind of thing? We used to have keen observance on every aspect of the article. We never leave any of the aspect where the author does the mistake. So how can you do this in an effective way? Please keep everything in the first row of the table itself. Means the quantity or the decimal, how you are going to put, you just put in the first row so that it will justify the remaining rows, or the numbers will exactly contain those percentage symbols. Got it? So these are very small tips, very small tips. But please remember, any of you who are doing this, how many of you have done or you have written the article in this way? You might have done number of mistakes while you are writing, and you are finding rejection. What is the reason behind that? Nobody knows the behind that. And you might tell, these are very small things. How can we expect that this also need to be justified? Yes, you need to justify, because this is a research article. And being while you are going to communicate to a very good journal, they won't leave any aspect to be free. Okay. Now come to the conclusion. While you are going to talk about the conclusion, don't give more than 2 paragraphs. Okay. How the proposed work updates the knowledge from other existing literature. The first paragraph should tell about that. While you are going to write down the conclusion, please refer the abstract. Don't copy the same lines from the abstract in the conclusion. Next, while you are writing the first or second or third or fourth line of the conclusion, please be sure about you are going to talk about your method, means the proposed method. The next paragraph means should completely talk about, is there any limitation and future scope of your work? Don't think, if I'll keep limitation of my work, then my paper might reject. No, not like that. If in your method there are few limitations only, then absolutely there is no problem to mention it in the paper. Again, you can keep any of the limitation in the paper, no problem in that. Again, you need to maintain a very good writing similarity of abstract and conclusion. So both should match with each other. That's why always I used to suggest everyone, while you are writing conclusion, don't write solo conclusion. Solo means only you are writing the conclusion. No, that's wrong. Please see what you have written in the abstract and write what you have started in the abstract. Same thing you are justifying in the conclusion or not. Okay. So these two things are very important. Now, coming to mention the future scopes too, because if you are leading little one or two future scope of your work, then some other author might do some work for your paper, okay? Or you might extend your work for your paper. So it is always very important to mention the future scope of your paper. Now, coming to the acknowledgement, please acknowledge everyone who has helped in your research. Don't forget to acknowledge your advisors, your financial supporters, the grants, anything you have received from anyone. Okay, but don't keep too many acknowledgements. Keep only few acknowledgements in that. Coming to reference. Now, I will discuss at least 5 minutes about the reference. I don't know how many of you know how to cite references, how to keep the references in a good way. See, there are very strict and basic rules to cite the references. Okay, please cite the main related references to your work. What is main related? What is the basic task of new researcher? What they used to do? Suppose one paper they are referring, okay, being a literature part. So what they used to do is simply they copy the reference from that paper, they paste in their paper, and they keep somewhere 1, 2, 3, 4 something like that, which is very funny and pity to cite your reference. I told you from the beginning, don't keep too many references in your article. Keep only few references, but those few references should be very much crucial to cite your article. Completely avoid some of the unnecessary references. Avoid self citations too if it is not necessary at all. Only for grabbing the attention from the citation, you are trying to cite your own article again and again in your paper is not at all good and viable advice. Please remember, always avoid self citation if it is required. Avoid excessive citations of publications from the same region. Same region means if you are publishing from one journal, repeatedly you are giving from that one journal, or from same region like Asia or Russia or US or any other state, means it is something like biased towards the country or the region. Don't do like that. Okay. Do not include open source references like Axiv and Medexif like that. This is very important. Why you should not keep open source references? Now I'll discuss what is called open source references over here. In a very previous slide, one time I told you in the preprint, right? If an author want to preprint its own paper, he is keeping means he is archiving it in online mode. Okay, but as I told you, the paper is not at all reviewed by any of the experts, right? If the paper is not reviewed, how can you tell that the paper is going to means the paper what you are referring in the online mode, it is a authenticated one. It is not an authenticated one, or it is not a peer reviewed one. So if the paper is not peer reviewed one and it is being shown in any of the online repository like Axiv and Medexif, and you are referring those results or those methods in your paper, that is completely not good at all. So do not include any such open sources references unless it is required. Conform strictly to the style given by the guide for author, because different journals used to follow different reference style. These days it is very common to set the reference either by using any of the software like EndNote or Mendeley. Okay, Mendeley is very famous these days. You can use Mendeley what for keeping any of the software. Okay, means to set your reference. Now this is a basic reference style. I'll show you. You can find in the Google Scholar. Let me go to discard. Let me come online. Is Google page is visible to you? Somebody please respond. Is the Google page visible to you?
No, sir.
No, okay. I think actually I have shared the slide. I need to share the screen, right? Then it will be and enter full screen. Okay, just wait. Stop. Now, is it visible? The Google page?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Visible.
So in Google, so please find out the basic way to go for your reference style. In Google, please you go to where Google Scholar. Okay. So it is a live demonstration. Please remember. So up to today, if you have copied some of the people or you are copying few of the authors, don't do like. Please remember, it is very important to cite your reference in a very good sense. Okay. Suppose I am writing machine learning, for example. Okay. So in Google Scholar, machine learning is coming, right? Here you can see one cite option is there. Can you see one double dot cite option? I'm pointing it. Can you see the double dot, double apostrophe like that cite option? The second option. Okay. Hello, am I audible? Am I there? You can respond anyone, no problem in that. Just I want the clarity whether it is there or not. Hello. Am I not audible?
Sir,
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yeah. So can you see the site option? What I'm pointing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just click on it. After you will click on it, you will find the different citation options. Okay. So here you will find what? MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard and Vancouver. Right? The down section you will find BibTeX, EndNote. These are the styles. Got it? So based on the journal, what they want, according to the journal style, you can keep any of these reference format. So if they want APA, simply copy, means click on it, it will be copied and take from it. Don't copy and paste any reference directly from the journal. It is very important. Please remember. Okay. Now come to the slide. So the same thing I have kept over here. You can see the reference style. Directly you go to the double apostrophe in the Google Scholar in the paper. There you will find all the styles of references. Just click on it and copy on it. Now I'm coming back to the slide. The slide is visible to you, right?
No, sir.
Slide is not visible.
It's in Google.
Oh, still I'm in Google. Okay, wait. Okay, now is it?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes. Okay. Now, if you will come to the last part, the supporting information of the appendix, here you need to give some detail about the method which none of the publishers are interested actually. You need to give some algorithm design, some abbreviations, some of the pseudocode design if you want to give for the author. And these days, most of the authors or most of the publishers also, they are very much interested to take the pseudocode from the authors for the rest of the readers. Okay. So all those extra information you can keep in the form of appendix. Got it? Now come to the cover letter. See what happened now. Everything is over. You have done your manuscript in a very good way, but you are unable to what? Write a good cover letter. Why cover letter is required? While you are going to justify your article to any of the journal or any of the topic, you are going to think that I have done a very good research, so I will simply submit the article, it will go for it. There is very less chance that means I can say the opposite one. What is the opposite one? If you are having a good cover letter to impress the editor-in-chief or the associate editor to know what exactly you have done in your article. So in a brief, if you are writing that in the cover letter, then definitely you are going to impress the people over sitting in the editorial board. Okay. What should be the content? You need to keep the editor's name if you know, otherwise no need. Name of the journal to which you are submitting, your manuscript title, the article type which is of review or research or case study type, submission date, brief background of your study and the research questions you sought to answer, brief overview of the methodology used. You can find one poor cover letter. I'm showing you an example why it is poor cover letter. You can see what he has written, the author. Dear editor-in-chief, I am sending you one of our manuscript entitled this by researcher Etiol. We would like to have the manuscript considered for publication in pathobiology. Please let me know of your decision at your earliest convenience. With my best regards, sincerely yours, a PhD or researcher, something like that. See, you can find in this cover letter what the author is telling. Means it is something like I have written something. Please you see at your end whether it is acceptable or not, which is completely a bad practice of advising or keeping very light about the research to the editors. Okay, please remember what are the basic things you need to mention in the cover letter, which is of strong type. The first paragraph of your cover letter should include the title of your manuscript and the type of the manuscript. That is whether it is review article, research article, case study, all these things. Then briefly explain the background of your study. What is the second paragraph? The second paragraph should tell, you should concisely explain what was done, the main findings and why they are significant. This is the second paragraph, right? What is the third paragraph? You should indicate why the readers of the journal would be interested in your work. That means especially highlight some of the good aim and objective of your work. And the last, to conclude, the state the corresponding author name and the journal any specific requirements. That means any ethical standard it needs, or you need to tell that, you need to declare that this article has not been submitted to any other journal. So such kind of ensurety you need to give towards the journal, so that the editor-in-chief will feel this is really a very good article, so that we need to insert into the article for next level review. So there is a very vital role while you are writing a cover letter too. Okay, I told you from the beginning of my slide, I will emphasize on each and every aspect of quality publication. Okay. Now, what are the mandatory lines in all the cover letter? Please remember, in any journal, irrespective of any journal you are keeping, please keep these of the mandatory lines in any of your paper. We confirm that this manuscript has not been published elsewhere and is not under consideration by any other journal. First. Second, all authors have approved the manuscript and agree with its submission to what is the journal name. Okay, that means only corresponding authors should submit the paper. So at that, on that means on the behalf of all the author, the corresponding author definitely should approve the manuscript. And then to confirm that the manuscript has not been published anywhere else, so that the journal manager will ensure this publication or this paper has been solely kept or solely submitted to our journal. Got it? What are the pre-final steps for the submission? Please follow strictly to the guide to author. Thoroughly check the whole manuscript. I always suggest everyone, please take printout of 2 to 3 times of your article before you will submit to any other good journal. Again, I am repeating, it's a good journal session. It's not at all a normal journal publication or normal preliminary research publication. Okay. So ask the colleagues and the supervisors to review your manuscript. Avoid reading in system. It is always I advise to everyone. Don't read everything on the system. You can keep or you can read some of the initial versions of the system, means in the system, but don't read every time in the system, because finding errors in the system is very rare. We used to feel everything is correct only. The exact version you will find while you will take the printout version. Okay. Follow the copy editing and ensure the plagiarism. While you are going to talk about plagiarism, this is one of the biggest buzzword in this era. Okay. Starting from 2013, we are means all Indians like as a part of as a rule of UGC or as a part of the whole system or research ethical policy, we used to follow the standards of plagiarism. Okay. Please remember, don't copy or don't just copy and paste too much from any of the paper of other source. Check the plagiarism. Try to maintain as less as possible, means less than 10%, 15%, something like that. And any single source plagiarism should not be less than means greater than 20%. Sorry, 2%. And avoid the plaque percentage of consecutive lines in more than one complete line. That means again and again the same line, next line is coming, plagiarism from the same source or different source. It is very bad for the article, because these all things the journal manager will check. If he will find such kind of things in the article, definitely he is going to reject at the initial screening only. Okay. So please remember, it is very important to have plagiarism check at all aspects before you are going to submit the article. Now coming to one or two slides, we will discuss about the English language. Okay. What some people used to do, right click on the word, check on what the exactly synonyms. No, people used to do right click and synonyms, change some words. They used to fill, my plagiarism will be safe only. Okay. You can find if such kind of thing you are doing, means the English what you are writing, if it is not at all understandable at our point of view, what you are going to do, the complaint from the editor, you will find this paper fell well below my threshold. I refuse to spend time trying to understand what the author is trying to say. Besides, I really want to send a message that they cannot submit garbage to us and expect us to fix it. My rule of thumb is that if there are more than 6 grammatical errors in the abstract, then I do not waste my time carefully reading the rest. Can you get how much serious statement from the editor towards the author? And if you will ask me fairly, I too personally used to feel the same. If the abstract and title of a paper is good, I will enter into the whole article. If these two things are only bad, means I'll find there itself that there is a problem, then I won't insert directly, I will reject. The reason is, how much good research you are doing also, it doesn't signify anything if you are not keeping a good title and a good abstract. Okay, please remember it. So do publishers check English language? Many of the people, they used to feel we will write anything once the paper will accept, then publisher will do the things, means publisher will do the copy editing. It is true, but partially true, not fully true. Why? Poor English may cause rejection of the paper at the review stage only. If your paper will pass the review stage, then only it will go to the next stage, means at the final publication stage or the copy editing phase. But if it is not going to pass at the initial stage only, how can you ensure that it is going to publish? Okay. So please use Grammarly kind of good software, but don't use too much on Grammarly, because Grammarly also used to synonymize maximum of the word. The meaning of word is very different from your thinking or your exact use of word. Okay. So please use properly while you are using any of the word in your article. Now, you need to focus on the scientific languages very clearly about the sentence construction, incorrect tenses, inaccurate grammar, mixing the languages. That means too many other languages you should not mix up in a whole paper. Unwanted punctuations, big lines, too short lines, small paragraphs, multiple statements in one sentence. These are not at all visible things to advise, and you need to focus very clearly about all these in your paper. So while you are mentioning about the paper for the final submission, you need to be very clear about the scientific language what you are going to put. And please remember, at the journal end, minimum 4, 5, 6 people are sitting to check everything in your paper. Don't think that they are going to leave you without discussing or without seeing anything in the paper. Okay? Please remember few tips and tricks how to use tense. While we are using any of the American, US or UK English, please be sure that if you are using any known facts and hypothesis, known fact, do you know what is known fact? Means sun rises on the east. Such kind of known fact while you are presenting in the paper, please use present tense. Okay? We used to see these things very strictly in the paper. You need to use present tense while you are writing known facts and hypotheses. Example, clustering is a unsupervised learning. I cannot write clustering was a unsupervised learning technique. Okay, it's wrong. Coming to experiments you have already conducted. For that you need to write in past tense, not in present tense. Okay. All the fireflies were maintained. See, you can find its past tense, not in present tense or future time. Coming to past tense, while you are going to describe the result of an experiment, again you need to write the past tense, that to be in active voice, not in passive voice. You can see FCM performed well. It is a correct statement. You cannot write FCM has performed well. It's a wrong line because you are using passive voice. Just my next slide is about that only. Use active voice to shorten the sentence. Normally, journal, how many words you are using in your paper, that also being countable by the journal, because they are going to print with the sizes of the internet space. Okay. So it is very important to realize how many voices I need to use to shorten my sentences. Always try to use active voice. Instead of it has been proved, you should write we have proved. Sorry, we proved. Okay. So while writing all this, keep in mind everything should go so smoothly, so accurately that your complete article will fall on the exact standard of the journal, so that it will directly go for the review and acceptance. Okay. And use of abbreviations. While you are going to use the abbreviations, please avoid the abbreviations like you can see it's, were not, has not, wouldn't. You should avoid such kind of abbreviations. You need to write it is, were not, not. Okay. And if you are writing genetic algorithm, please write genetic algorithm first, then the abbreviation GA. Directly don't write anywhere GA. GA means genetic algorithm. It is a standard kind of form of algorithm. Very few people know who does the research in machine learning or soft computing, but everybody doesn't know what is meant by GA. Okay. So the think about those people who are going to read your paper for the first time. Okay. You need to eliminate the redundant phrases too. Preparation of first revision of your article. Now this is very important. Why it is important? Once your paper got reviewed, you found some of the review comments raised by the reviewer. Don't take any of the reviewer comments so lightly, because the reviewers used to spend time on your paper. They used to find out what are the exact points. Yeah, sometimes it is true that some points you might disagree with the reviewer. So in that case, you need to mention what is your point of view towards that. But don't think that your point is always right, whatever you are going to talk about that. That's not true at all. Please remember. And always try to give point-to-point response to the reviewer. Don't lose your interest in reading any of the comment. It is very, very important. Please remember. Always you have to be very much possessive, and you need to understand what exactly the reviewer wants. Rather, you should not misunderstand what the reviewer is telling. Okay, so don't blame the reviewer for his or her misunderstanding. If he misunderstood some of the concept of your paper, still you please make it politely, tell it what exactly your point. Okay. So while preparing your revisions, please be sure that you need to explain everything point by point. Do not ignore any of the comment of the reviewer. Once again, carefully read the paper for its accuracy in presenting the data. Highlight the changes in separate colors in the revised version too, and submit the revised version before the time, because once time exceeds, most of the journal they used to consider your paper again fresh submission. Okay, so don't fear to tell what exactly your revisions are. That means, suppose the revision is little measure and you need to highlight so many portions of your paper. Don't think that if I highlight so many things, then the editor may get wrong impression on me and he may reject the paper. That is not at all true. Because what are the comments being raised by the editor or reviewer? It is the task of the author to complete all the revisions in time and in a well appropriate way. Okay. Now, understand the publication ethics to avoid the violations. Means you should not do any violations. That means, first thing, you should avoid plagiarism. Second, you should not fabricate any of the earlier research data. You should not improper use the human subjects or animals in your research. This is the basic ethics of research. I don't want to discuss much, but please remember, if any such data is included in your paper, be sure about the fact that the committee, there is an ethical committee of your university or somewhere the standard committee has approved your data, so that you are appropriately putting the data in your paper for publishing it. Otherwise, you will face a lot of complications in future. Okay. Now, the point is how you are going to prepare SCI, Scopus, or UGC index or non-index. See, according to me, there are many such no, what you can say, kind of articles. But if you are going to talk about poor or weak kind of manuscript, what are those? Inadequate review of the literature, inappropriate citations, unclear introduction, ambiguous research questions, means up to now what we have discussed, any of those you are violating means it is a quality of weak or poor journal manuscript. Simple, very, very simple. Okay. Insufficient methodology, incompletely described measures, unclear statistical analysis, inappropriate statistical techniques, poor conceptualization of discussion, poor writing style, excessive length. Any of these is satisfying, it will be considered as weak or poor journal. Okay. So what are the steps of preparation? Please, you remember, you should write an article to communicate, not to impress the journal editor. Because if you are trying to impress, definitely you are going to fail it. Because no one can impress me or any of the other editor. Rather, you can strengthen your article so that we will get impressed by default. That is very important. Use some published items as models. Means you need to tell your model is good as compared to other model when other models are published. Don't tell other models are developed by you. Some other models are developed by you, and you are comparing those two models with your model, and you are telling presently your model is good. These all three are not correct. Please remember. Okay. Select an appropriate journal, explore the qualitatively, not quantitatively. Please remember, quality is very important, not the quantity. Now, what are the exact steps for exact hitting of a good ACI journal? If you are going to directly hit the target of the journal, don't rush in submitting your article. Means don't be so rush. Means my publication should be in 2 months, 3 months. Trust me, as I have told you from the beginning of my slide, I have reviewed more than 8,000 articles. Can you imagine 8,000 articles? Out of that, how many of you means how many of the articles I might have rejected in my career? In that, if you ask me, see, There are many such author I found in my career who used to ask me directly, sir, please tell me within 2 months how can I publish an essay? It is very difficult to tell. How can I tell that within 2 months one essay publication will come? Because I told you there are few process. Okay. The only thing is if the editor and the reviewer are very good and they found time to review your paper, then you will find fast review. You will get fast publication. Okay. But all these things will happen when if everything or every aspect in your paper is good, then only. Otherwise, how it will be? Got it? So have a professional editing, means copy edit, cover letter, address the reviewer comments very carefully, read the aim and scope and author guidelines of the paper. Every aspect you need to think whether I am correct before submitting the journal. Okay? So there are three kinds of journal articles you will find: the survey, the original research, and the short papers. Got it? So while we are going to talk about survey, many of the people think that survey and review is both are same. Both are not same. Survey is somewhat, what do we know? While you are going to write the survey, please remember you need to have these points in mind, because you need to identify the existing research gaps. It is very important. What are the infrastructure and data set requirements? Have a comfortable understanding in reading others' contribution in your paper, because while you are going to talk about a good survey always indicates number of requirements what the survey is exactly going to talk about. But if you are going to define or describe many of the technical aspects or investigations in your research or in your survey article, that also signify a very good article. Okay. Now, what is the difference between review and survey? Please remember, a survey is pretty shorter than a review article. Means, a survey in a field could be a few or dozen of pages. A review could be of over 100 of pages. Means, take a specific topic, you want to review it, go for more number of papers to detail review. Survey means just take a small content. Means you are doing some research for some firm. Instead of reading 20 different or 20, 30 different kind of papers, one researcher should read your survey paper. Right? This is the basic difference. So survey are little small in nature as compared to review. Review means lengthy articles, and you need to give a detailed perspective about the topic. Survey, you can have a shorter perspective about any of the topic what you are going to explain. Okay. So what are the important aspects of review articles? Please give a precise details of the experimental setup. Compare only those work having common experimental platform. That means, suppose your problem is machine learning in intrusion detection or machine learning in IoT. Then you need to only compare those articles which are machine learning in IoT, not too much broad over IoT. Okay. So focus on conclusion with interpretation of each of the results, course of action, future directions. Please remember, any of the survey and review while you are telling or you are going to write, as a beginner, you should first start with survey or research. Survey or review article. The basic advantage of writing survey or review article is you need to mention lot of comparative tabular analysis among different contents what you are going to hold. Okay, the first one. Second is, while your survey is a very good article, definitely you will get number of citations while a good research article may not give you. So always please remember, it is very much crucial for a survey article to have a tabular difference representation in the existing survey. Okay. And if any of the author earlier already they have published some of the survey article, try to find out the basic difference between those survey and your survey. Then only you can justify your survey. Got it? Some of the titles. You can see some survey titles for your example. A comprehensive survey of retracted articles from the scholarly literature. hybrid expert system, a survey of current approaches and applications. Structural shape optimization, a survey. Reinforcement learning for combinatorial optimization, a survey. So in this way, you can set the basic survey article titles, because in survey or review, the very important part is the title. The title itself will signify what is the topic the author has chosen to do the survey. Okay. Now, for the paper selection for the review article, please pick 20 to 30 qualitative survey. While you are going to do quantitative survey, please consider 20 to 100, not more than that. If you are considering 300, 400 papers, but are of no use, directly the paper will get rejected only. Don't think it will be accepted. Okay. As I told you, how many less number of references you will keep in your paper, but required references, not unrequired references. It will help to accept your article. Okay. So own analysis on the significance of approach and the results presented in each of the paper. This is also important. And there should be a mixture of papers, including the best paper in the selected domain to the most recently published paper. This is also important. Please remember. Okay. And don't think that every journal publishes survey or review. Yes, it is true. Few of the good journals they used to no always welcome the survey review article, but it should be a very qualitative one, not at all in a simple writing or very light writing based survey article. Okay. Now the question is, you have obeyed all the instructions, everything is ready. Where you will go now? Means where to publish now? You need to find the right journal. It is a very big task and a very appropriate task also. Please remember, I have given you an example. Suppose my paper name is machine learning for crop disease identification. Got it? My paper name is machine learning for crop disease identification. Can you please tell me which kind of journal I should go for it? If you see the title, there are two aspects. One is machine learning, one is crop disease identification. What does it mean? Crop disease identification is something kind of farming or agricultural kind of thing. Okay. So, if you are going to talk about agriculture, if you try agriculture journal, they may not accept. 90% they won't accept because it is a machine learning. Now you come to machine learning. Again, machine learning few of the journal, they may tell, no, it is somewhat a very broad scope of agriculture. So you try the other journal. It is not matching to our scope. So the authors are in big dilemma. Which of the article need to submit in what kind of journals? Got it? So please remember, while you are going to submit to any of the journal, choose this finders, journal finder, okay, which will help you directly to submit the paper. In every good company like Elsevier, you can find Elsevier journal finder also, where you can keep the paper title, the paper abstract, the keywords, the field of research, and the different part. Coming to Springer journal, the same Springer journal suggestion is there. Wiley, the same. Some finding journal match. Only you need to keep the abstract and the title. Okay. Based on that, they will suggest you what kind of journal is suitable for your article and based on the keyword. Okay. Now, where can you identify a topic for a journal? This is very normal. Like how I can identify the topic, I can take from my research guide, I can take from advisors, the students, the friends, the review papers, research talks, the scientific magazines. This slide is for those faculties who has not started yet writing any paper. Okay, you can refer any of these points to start your research. Now, is your topic appropriate to the journal? That means how can you know it? Whether it is interesting for you or not, whether enhancement of previous research or not. It is very important. Are there any weakness of current research? So that you are trying to solve the problem. Next, what are the current trends? Whether your problem is problem specific or not, and mostly your method is workable or not. Don't tell this method, that method, it is performing well, and it should be acceptable for available of journal. So, what are the basics of writing? These are few important tips to you people. Make an outline of your article. See, I request all of you, whenever you have started writing any article for a good essay or Scopus Index journal, keep it prioritized. Okay? Break down the writing process in sections. Schedule some fixed time to write. That means if you ask my success, the mantra to success is every day you will write at least 1,000 to 2,000 words. Okay? Means one paragraph will contain 500 words. 10 to 11 line will contain in A4 size word format. You will find one time, sorry, 5 to 6 line, you will find 500 words. Got it? So per day, if you are going to write 2,000 words, definitely on daily basis and weekly priority list, your paper is going to complete. No doubt in that. Don't think it will take so much time. It is so much hurdle, lot of problems. All these things are some video words. Okay. So please keep some tips. Start writing before the experiments which are complete. That is, writing often evokes new ideas. You may realize that there are additional experiments to run. That means whenever you are going to write now, please write what are the methods, what are the data set, which method I need to target, so that I can decide. And fix your timeline when you are going to publish. Accordingly, you complete your paper. Draft the title and abstract. Examine the list of authors. See, don't cut and add too many authors in the paper number of times. Fix the author based on their contribution, make them order. Okay? Determine the basic format, construct the tables, figures, and the results in a proper way. Now, come to some of the options. These days, as we know, we are having many kind of journals like open access journal, paid journal, all this kind of thing. One thing I can say you, these days paid means open access. There is no such called paid journal. Early days, before 2-3 years, number of paid journal means the journal will ask you money to publish. Okay, open access means many of the authors what they want. Today their paper got accepted. Tomorrow it should be in the Google Scholar online platform so that any of the author can download their paper, can read their paper, so that they can cite their paper, so that the research will disseminate and number of citations of the author will increase. Okay, that is the reason many of the authors they are ready to go for paid journals. Got it? So don't put yourself in such confusion among open access and paid journal. Please avoid paid journal. Don't go for any paid journal. Okay. Now there are few kind of different kind of open access journal these days. In the faculties who are appearing net exam of UGC, you may find one question definitely in this, in the research methodology section, like different kind of open access. Okay. Now let me tell you what is the basic open access journal. First one, gold open access. Second one, green open access. Okay. In the gold open access, you will publish online journal, means you will publish in open access journal or which supports the open access, means in hybrid mode. But coming to green open access, you can have link to your article. You can select a journal that features an open archive. The journal is participating in Chorus. Chorus means it is actually a site of many of the researcher community which brings together funders, societies, the publishers and the institutions, means to give number of open research ecosystem. Okay. These days many of the good journal they are participating in Chorus too. Okay. Coming to access, the public access is to the final published article, and the access is immediate. Where? Gold open access, because you have paid the open access fees. That's why I told tomorrow, today the paper is accepted. Tomorrow, today night only the paper might be online. Okay, so anybody can download it. But go in green open access, you may have free access to a version of your article. Time delay may apply. Okay. There is no fee payable in green open access, but in good open access, fee is payable. Please remember. Okay. So don't get confused in between these two. Now coming to some other open access also. What is that? Blue. The first one, blue open access, yellow open access, hybrid open access. Next, platinum, bronze, white. These kind of all open access are there. Little difference in post publication and pre-publication of your paper. That means in blue, what you can do? Author can archive the post print or the publisher's final version of the PDF. Got it? Hello?
Sir, your PPT is not in shared, sir. Unable to
My
see your
PPT is not visible. Is it visible? Not visible.
not visible, sir.
Means okay. Can you?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Is it visible?
No, sir.
But I think everything is right only. I have said everything is okay. Is it not visible to anyone? Some other people can respond, please.
So preparation of first revision of your article, I'm able to see that one, sir.
Okay. Wait.
Preparation of first revision article. That slide I am able to be.
69 slides.
This everything about this preparation means it is long back.
Yeah, that is one.
But nobody has pointed out up to now. Means I'm constantly talking. Then so many things I have already said. Okay. Now somebody should point out at least. Okay. Wait. But at my end it is everything okay only. But is it okay now? Is it okay now? Please tell.
Sir, we are not able to see the screen, sir.
Now also it is not visible.
No. No, sir.
Okay. It is like that. But everything is perfect only. Okay. Slide is moving, not moving.
No, sir. Blank screen. We are able to see blank screen.
Is there any issue with the team? I don't think because my network is good. I have connected two networks over here and it is very fast also. Coming to sharing, I think something it is writing together mode scene change. Something it is writing. I don't know. Wait. Okay. Now I shared the Google page. Is it visible? Google page. Is the Google page is visible? Still not?
No, sir.
Uh,
Jyoti, please check.
exit.
Yes, ma'am. I will check.
But at my end, it is showing presenting only.
Now it is visible, sir. Now it is. We are able to see
Visible,
the
sir.
screen. Blue open access, yellow
Visible?
open access. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I have discussed possibly so many things over there. So where I was, so I was discussing about the types of open access journals. So here you will find very lenient, means very small differences among the kind of no type of open access journal like blue, yellow, hybrid, and platinum, bronze, and white open access. Especially in bronze open access, you won't have any open access fees, but the publisher chooses to make the publication freely. Okay, coming to platinum, it is normally a diamond kind of open access, means it is people used to call it diamond open access also, where they allow immediate access to the content of the publication, but without any paywall or license, the author pay no article processing charges. Okay, but most of the open access kind of thing are almost same. The author should clearly understand what is the difference between paid and this open access kind of thing. But no one should go for black open access. This is very crucial because black open access publishing refers to the publications that have bypassed the paywalls and have been illegally released and made freely accessible to the public. Okay, most of the journals, Scopus Index journal, you might see those are being removed from Scopus, but they used to tell they are Scopus indexed. Okay, those are supposed to be black open access journal, and mostly publishers used to use this term black open access. Okay, coming to the conference article, you can have the basic rule. See, there is a basic difference in between. Madam, can I have time? Another 10 to 15 minutes more.
Yes, sir. You can take 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I'll wind up in 10 minutes. So what we can do is, normally what people used to feel is when they used to start the work, means if the work is very big or it is good only, then go for journal. If the work is very short or it is a normal kind of work, then go for the conference. Okay, but actual meaning of conference is very different, and people used to make the conference articles in a very different way in early days, not in these days. See, the basic difference is conference article normally comes under 7 to 10, 15 pages, not more than that. Here 3-4 figures, 15 references you can keep, no problem in that. But if you will keep some good methods in the conference, it will be very much helpful to get the citations of your paper. Okay, you can see some good no tips for the good conference article. Don't go for some paid conference kind of thing, because it is very important to have very good conference articles. Good. So how to know a good conference article, means a conference is good or not? Please check the series. First thing, whether it is a series conference or not. Second, whether it found any H index or not. Okay. So do not discourage by a high registration fees. That means checks the quality. Means what do you need to think? No, very low registration fee. So I need to submit here. This my paper got published. That is not the way, because always you need to depend on the peer review process. Okay, check with the speakers before submitting. Check the themes, and it is easy to find the quality of conference from the review they have done to your manuscript. Always I suggest everyone the same. If it is a conference article also, but you are finding a quality review for your article, then definitely you will tell my article is of good quality, mean the conference is of good quality. Otherwise, without any review, simply they are accepting the paper by paying some money, that is completely a rubbish conference. Okay. Some of the good conference I am showing you, you can see these are very good conference articles where the citations are more than any of the journal articles. No, very famous deep residual learning who is getting more than 25,256 citations. Okay. Coming to deep learning, simple deep learning, the article name in the conference where it got published in Nature used to get 16,750 citations. Okay. And this is one of the most popular conference paper. This is a conference paper, mind it. Okay. Just yesterday I have taken its citation. It's 27,961 citations. This is not a journal paper at all. I am reminding. The top you can see it is clearly written proceedings of ICNN 95. Okay. This ICNN, that means International Conference on Neural Network. It is one of the reputed conference. Okay. So don't discourage yourself that it is a conference paper which is not going to publish in a very good way and it is not going to give me citations. Those are completely wrong things. Okay. So please be aware that have a good publication in conference as well as journal. These are some of the top conferences. If you want, I will give you the list also, because if you want to submit any of the IEEE or SCM or Springer International conferences, you can find. I have calculated the H5 index also. Okay, I'm showing you the H index where the conference H index is 240. The first IEEE conference CVR. Okay, Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition Conference. So such kind of conference adds value to your CV. Okay. So always please try for good conferences. Now some of the tips for the book chapters. Here the difference between conference, journal and book chapter is in book chapter it should not be more than 35 pages, should not be less than 20 pages. Please remember. There are few tips. The first one, you need to have detailed study about your topic. You should match the scope of your book. Target any chapter in the book. Okay. Target any of such chapter where your chapter content should match with the book content. Got it? Don't think I have one paper, any of the book I will submit and it will get accepted. There is no meaning of submitting such kind of chapter. But while you are writing the book chapter, your special focus should be on introduction and methodology section. These two are main section in any book chapter. Do not include too many literature in the book chapter because normally any book is going to publish. This is only for graduate level students or the research scholars. Okay. So try to focus on introductory concepts of your method and the methodology section in a detailed way. This is a reason for rejection of the book chapters. You can see the submitted chapter. Means this is a simple abstract. How much he has written? So much. This I have taken from my book only. Just 1 year back, we had edited this book in Springer, Understanding COVID-19, the Role of Computer Science Intelligence. Okay. So I clearly mentioned, please give your abstract in 250 words. But some people, what they used to feel, do you know, what they have written, that is only true and that is only correct. So anything they have written, they used to throw it. They are feeling, the editor who was sitting, they are so much free that anything we will write, they will be happy with us. So simply, it got rejected. Okay. Some common mistakes people used to do while writing the chapter: repetition of the data. Most important or main important results they inadequately discussed, means they never used to discuss so much. The conclusions are not supported by the findings because any of the method you are considering, if it is not at all supported with the finding, then obviously there is a problem. Okay. The omission of key references, explanations are too long. That means methodology or introduction, if that itself you are keeping more than 8 to 9 pages, then it comes under too much long explanation of the chapter. Okay. The low quality figure, unsized tables and length of the table. Got it? So while you are preparing the table and figure, I already told you, please keep everything in editable format, and while figure you are keeping, please keep any of the acceptable format like GIF, BMP, PICT, WPG or TIF, any of the format. Okay, and it should be at least of 300 dpi, at least. More than that, it's okay. Now, what are the publication matrix? It is very important to understand. The first part is impact factor. See, while you are choosing any SCI journal, please first choose, I told you, based on your work. Starting from 0.1 impact factor starts up to 10, 15 in our computer science. More than 5 or less than 5 is very high impact factor you can consider. Okay. So normally impact factor is nothing but it is a measure to reflect the average number of citations. Got it? So a formula is there to calculate the impact factor. How to calculate? Possibly you people know. Just a small glimpse on that. If you are going to calculate the impact factor of journal 2020, okay, that means I am going to consider how many number of articles got published in 2018 and 19. Those were indexed during 2020. Very clear? That is called A, and B is the total number of citable items published in 2018 and 19. That's why in every journal you will find impact factor used to change in every 3 years, not every year. Please remember. Okay. So what is the impact factor of 2020? A by B. Got it? That means the number of times the articles got published in 2018 and 19 indexed by the journal during 2020, means up to 2020, and the total number of citable items or citations published in 2018 and 19. Simply you do calculate A by B, that's called the impact factor. Okay, don't believe in such vague impact factor of many paid journals. Okay, so there are few tools to measure the journal impact factor, that is journal citation report, SJR and SNP, that is source normalized impact per paper. So these tools are majorly used to calculate the journal impact factor. Got it? Now this is a basic slide whether a journal is in Scopus or not. Okay, many people used to ask this question very commonly in my talk. That's the reason I have kept this slide in an open way to make you understand. Simply go to Scopus, log in. There you find the second option here. You can see here, please. The second option is what? Scopus coverage years. Here, if you find up to present, that means the journal is in Scopus. If you won't find it in present, then it is not in Scopus. Very simple. Okay. Now come to H index. It is a very fascinating thing these days for any interview. H index is nothing but a simple calculation. A scholar with an H index of H. That means he has published H number of paper, each of which how many times, at least H number of times it got cited. That means if you have H index of 8, you have at least 8 paper who are got cited more than 8 times. Simple. Got it? So what is the highest H index? Normally 20 H index is good, 40 is outstanding, 60 is truly exceptional. H means HIRSIC. Please remember. What is H in H index? HIRSIC records. First, actually, he has coined this H index. So based on his name, it's called HIRSIC index. Okay. Now, this is very common information. ITN index in the Google, you will find ITN index means the number of publications with at least 10 number of citations. That's called ITN index. Got it? Now, the confusion among SCI and WOS and the Web of Science. Got it? Many people have this confusion, even some professors, very high quality, I can say researcher, some deans or a few vice chancellors, in committee members, they used to have this confusion that what exactly this SCI, SCIE, ESCI, Web of Science, all these are same or different or what? Actually, the first name to hold all these was Clarivate Analytics now, okay, not the Thomson Reuters. Thomson Reuters was the first company who started this intellectual property right, who has completely sold to Clarivate Analytics. Okay, so if you are telling me Thomson Reuters index or Thomson Reuters citation index, that is completely wrong, because 2016 onwards Thomson Reuters already sold its property to Clarivate Analytics. Okay. So now WOS is completely owned by Clarivate Analytics. Please be sure about this. First. Second thing is, in WOS there are three categories: ESCI, SCI, SCIE, and another one is SSCI. That means social science, arts and all subject. Okay. So if you are going to talk about SCIE, it is nothing but Science Citation Index Expanded, which is just a larger version of SCI. Got it? Which covers more than means 8,500 notable scientific journals. Got it? SCI, it means SCIE is similar to SCI, but there is a difference. First, impact factor, second, storage format. That means both SCI and SCIE are available online, but SCI journals are available in CD and DVD format, but SCIE journal you will never find in CD format. Be clear about this. Coming to impact factor, one SCI journal has already non-zero impact factor, but SCIE journal are just ranked for impact factor. Got it? Please be clear about this. Okay. And what is ESCI? Few people used to ask, ESCI is a SCI or not? See, ESCI, if a journal enters into ESCI, that means first it used to means since last 5 years it has published more than 8 volumes, that means 80 papers, which are getting good citations. Slowly it will enter into where? Web of Science, means WS. So to next step to go into SCI, first it should be in ESCI, which is Emerging Source Citation Index. Clear? So all journals which are submitted to WS, first it will get evaluated for the ESCI, and if it is found suitable, then it is indexed in the ESCI, otherwise not. Clear? This is the major difference between ESCI, SCI and SCIE. All are not same, but all are relevant. And as we know, these days we are moving towards quartile journals. Mostly if you are talking about publication in SCI journal, that is not important. You need to see whether the journal is in any of the quartile score or not. What is quartile score? Actually, few of the Thomson Reuters early days, they have ranked the journals, quality journals, in these 4 quartiles. Quartile 1, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4 journal. Got it? In Q4 journal, it denotes the top 25 publication of the impact factor distribution. Q2, middle level, that means 50% to 25%. Q3, 75% to 50%. Q4, the lowest position, means 25% of the impact factor distribution. So based on these quartile scores, the journals used to get the impact factor. Got it? It's a simple information. Now, these are few journals of variety of quartiles. You can find the highest quartile score Q1 journals of Nature, Science, all these some examples of few of the IEEE transactions in pattern analysis and machine intelligence, Nature, biomedical engineering, Science, robotics, all these few SJR rank based journals. So these are few trends in our country where we are failing to do and where we are succeeding also. This slide is all about what I always used to talk about our country, especially which of the area we are finding more number of SCI publications. You can see starting from 2011 to 2019. This was the last report what the scientific publications in India it has been published. You can find more than 1,61,000 papers got published in a large scale, and especially we are having a developmental growth in AI, robotics, engineering, materials, energy, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and many such good areas of physics, chemistry, and other areas of engineering. Okay. Now, if you will talk about scientific publications in India, especially the broad field of science, you can see here the number of different categories of SCI publications. Now, in last 5 years, in between 2017 to 19, the number of papers we have, how many number of foreign collaborators. You can see actually this data we used to find from the Scopus. Okay. So being the editor, we used to take always the kind of where the country is standing, where our researchers, the institutions are doing, and which of the areas they are doing mostly good research. Okay. So agriculture, fisheries, forestry, animal plant biology, built environment and design, chemistry, cross-cutting strategic technologies, engineering, ICT, physics, astronomy, lot of areas are there where the percentage of collaborator. Do you know collaborator means? In our paper we are keeping foreign collaborator, means we are inviting foreign people to contribute something to our paper. We are keeping them in our paper. Got it? So we need to have these collaborator along with the Indian the authors from the USA as a first collaborator, UK as a second collaborator, China as a third collaborator, Germany fourth collaborator, Korean people as a fifth collaborator. We used to have. So our country is exactly running in the same way, the rapid pace what we are thinking about publishing good quality journal. Okay. So these are few achievements of India. You can find it anywhere. India occupies now the third rank in terms of PhDs, number of PhDs after USA and China, more than 25,000. Coming to India ranks third globally in terms of number of startups. This is very common. These days, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also focusing the same number of more startups which are coming. More than 77,000 startups coming in these days, and we are having the largest number of unicorns, means more than 1 billion of company, the worth of company 107 in the world, which is one of the highest unicorns in the world. Okay. Now coming to women participation in the extramural R&D is doubled in last 9 years. Means there is a drastical growth, especially before COVID and after COVID. Please remember it. And now India is ranked in 9th position in terms of resident patent filing. Okay. So we are growing in all sense. So this is the Web of Science number of publications in our country since 2011 up to 2020. So this year again, Web of Science is going to release the number. So by that time, you can almost find we are having articles of more than 1 lakh, like that we are going to reach very soon, and possibly in this year we are going to have more than 3 to 4 lakhs of articles. The reason is that we are having number of collaborator and number of startups increasing in our country. For that reason, we used to have number of good publications in quality number of journals which are of SCI or Scopus indexed. Okay. Now these are the top 10 funding agency, those who are writing for publications. We know DST India. You can find the number of publications funded by DST 85,244. Okay. CSIR, UGC, the Department of Biotechnology, DBT, Indian Council of Medical Research, Department of Atomic Energy, United States Department of Health, Human Service USA, National Institute of USA. Apart from all this, you can see still in India, the agencies like DST and CSIR, we are having number of funded publications as compared to other countries. Okay. So these are few good publishers you may find. Don't go for basic normal publishers. I request all of you, please go for good publisher always, which is of IEEE, Elsevier, Springer, Wiley, Taylor Francis, the ACM, IGI, the World Scientific, the MIT Press, the Nature and the PLOS. Okay. So find good journals, go for good journal, publish in good journal to excel your work so that things can be materialized. And the authors who want some quick Scopus journal, these are the list of some quick Scopus journal. Okay. If you want to publish, you can apply any of these journals where I am also working as an editor. Okay. So easily you can find more than I have mentioned 6 issues per year, 12 issues per year, and what are the basic indexing? Some are ESA also, means Scopus and ESA also. Okay. So if you are finding 6 issues per year, means every 2 months 1 issue. Got it? So definitely you will find your paper in a good volume and good journal. But unnecessarily people used to travel here, there, here for their publication. At the end, they used to waste almost 1 year for publication. So some other journals, you can find one journal here, 12 issues per year. This one, International Journal of Industrial and System Engineering. Okay. So I have listed for your sec because here, as madam told me, many of the means almost 100 plus faculties are going to attend. So I felt you people might take help of all these journals which are first Scopus indexed. Then I'll go for good SCI journal. Okay. See. Madam, can I take just 5 minutes more? Another 5 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. So if you'll come here, good SCI or SCIE journal, you please see here I have clearly bolded the views. These are what do you know 50 days of fast review. You can see how fastly these journals are reviewing. Arabian Journal of Science Engineering. Sometimes you will find the review in 1 month only in Arabian. And please remember, this journal is increasing with a very drastic stage. Its impact factor is 1.71. Also, it is SCI, completely SCI indexed, but it publishes very fast. Okay. Another good journal is there. It is very old journal actually. Turkish Journal of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Okay. If everything is perfect, you may find this SCI journal very easily. Okay. Some other journal like Fast Decision, you will find 4.2 weeks, Computational Statistics and Data Analytics. Coming to data and knowledge engineering, the Fast Decision you will find in 3 weeks. See the last one, International Journal of Engineering Science, which is of SCI indexed. Its impact factor is 9.21, which is very high. But surprisingly, the Fast Decision you will find within 2 to 3 weeks. So what does it mean? It means the tips and tricks what I discussed in this lecture, if strictly you are following, definitely your paper is going to be accepted in any of the SCI or SCIE journal. But if anywhere you are failing to do so, then somewhere there is a problem. Okay. Please take everything so seriously and minutely so that the paper will not get rejected. Coming to few other journals. Journal of Computer System Sciences, impact factor 1.49, but fast decision you will find in 4 weeks only. Okay. Journal of Informatics, Science of Computer Programming. This impact factor, see, this is a WA journal, but its impact factor just started actually 0.775. Okay. Those who are clever people know they never go for very high impact factor journal. What you do is please go for some normal, means less impact factor like 0 point something or 1 impact factor journal. Also it creates lot of impact on your paper. Okay. So initial days you can target these kind of journal, but if your work is really worthy, then please go for very good journal. No problem in that. Okay. Coming to Acta Informatica, impact factor is 0.900. The fast decision you will find in 72 days. So I have listed only few journals where I am also working as an editor, and I have seen the decision of these journals are very quick actually. But if you will consider like this, there are more than 508 SCI journals for the computer science only. Got it? So don't tell that journals are not accepting and my paper is not that much. All these statements, at least to the scientific community or the researcher community, where there are a number of journals where we can publish. The only thing is we need to target the proper journal. If that we are able to do, then remaining everything will be all right. Okay. So do publish the research with what? The priority, time, interest, self-development, dissemination of your knowledge, organizational need of the hour. Okay. So any of these is true, you can publish your paper. No problem in that. So this is the last slide where this is all about little research where very good people have told few good things about the research, especially people like Bill Gates. I believe in innovation, and that the way you get innovation is you fund the research and you learn the basic facts. Okay. So there are many such good inspiring talks, inspiring things to do quality research where always we used to believe and we should believe. And overnight nothing is going to happen. That you too know, I too know. So I request all of you being the faculty of this academics, please write quality research paper. You have any doubt, you have any queries, you need any of the help at any time, always I'll be grateful to help everyone. So what should be my closing advice? So as you prepare your manuscript, few things you need to focus. You need to cherish your own work. That means if you don't want to take care, you do not take care, why should the journal? That means if you are not taking care about your paper, then why the journal will think so much about your paper? It has to reject your paper. There is no secret recipe for success. That means just simple rules, dedication and hard work. Means these all things, a paper basically needs maximum 6 months to produce. Means a good ACI paper. If you are really spending time on that. But if you are not, means it cannot be. Editors and reviewers are all busy scientists just like you. Make things easy to save their time. Don't feel that all are free. I will put my paper, my task is over. They will see my paper. It's not going to happen. Okay. So thank you for listening me since last 3 hours, and possibly you might have get some idea or vast idea about publishing and publications, which is one of the very important topic in these days, because what I'm finding, at least 2 to 3 times in a month, I'm finding a few talks on this topic in several universities and NITs and other good private institutions. The reason behind that is faculties are good, academics is good, but they do not have proper glance how to start research, or if they are doing research, how to publish it. So that's why I always try to help to this researcher community in this sense to make it success in all, so that we can contribute well to our community. Okay, so thank you. If any queries, I'll be happy to answer your queries.
Thank you very much, sir, for your exhausted lecture on research articles, high quality research articles. Thank you very much. Participants, do you have any queries? Please ask. Hello. Anyone of you are having any type of queries? Please ask. Okay, sir. Jyoti? Jyoti,
Ma'am.
please.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay if they are having any queries, neither today or for further also. As madam, you are having my all this email and other contacts. Just you forward them. They can have any queries. Let them ask, so that easily I will solve their queries. No problem at all. At any time. Okay.
Good evening to one and all. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude and extend a warm vote of thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Janmanjoy Naik sir, for gracing us with their presence and sharing their invaluable knowledge and expertise, sir. On behalf of the FTP team, we are very appreciate your continuous lecture from 2 to 5:30 without any intervention. Uh, Once again, very, very thanks, sir. We have gained a deeper understanding of this topic, writing high quality research articles, tips and tricks, and have been inspired by their passion and expertise, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering
Okay, okay.
your
Thank
valuable
you,
lecture,
thank you,
sir.
thank you. It's always my pleasure to, if really the talk has been helpful to the people, then obviously we will have excel in some good quality research. So I'm thankful to madam and the team of this FDP who has invited me for this day. And thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Lastly, I would like to thank each and every one of you, the audience, for for your active participation, attentiveness, and encouragement throughout the session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. We have shared a quiz and feedback link in Teams chat box. Please go through that and fill quiz as well as feedback.